Am I
And
live?
we are live.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the Bloody Baron Build Night. Um, I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm going to make it up as I go along. But thankfully, I've got Ben here who does know what he's doing, and Eddie here who says he knows what he's doing. So, hello. I see
Hey guys.
we got Mac Attack, we got Richard, we got Rocky Boy. Mike was here, but he left. I don't know if we pissed him off or what, but hopefully he'll come back.
Technically.
Mike has a grandbaby today, so I think
Ah.
he might have got sidetracked.
Got to have priorities. Try to get priorities. So, if you're watching this and you're not on the live chat that we're beta testing today, which seems to be working so far, right, Eddie?
Yes, so far.
Yes, so far. Sorry, I had my mic muted because my dog won't shut up.
It's not a bother, man. It's life. We all have things to deal with in life. People will get over it. So, Eddie, Ben, where would they go if they wanted to participate in this live chat if they are watching this and don't know where to go?
So I just posted it on the Flight Test Community Cast Facebook page. There's a link both, well, obviously, if they're watching this, they already know about it, but there's also the link to the live chat. And then I also just posted it on the Flight Test fans as well. So it's out there, guys. We hope you're getting in here and start joining us.
Cool.
And I also have just posted it on the Google Plus page for the Flight Test Community Cast, so everybody will be able to see it and access it there. There is no password needed.
No password. No password.
Pilot. Hey, that's Carl. Hi, Carl. No, wait, that's Wilmer. Who's with Pilot? That's not Carl.
Raster size. Hey.
Look at that,
Yeah.
buddy. Wintergreen right there. Oh, it's Adam. I knew I recognized that. I don't feel bad for getting his name wrong now. Hi, Adam. What's up, buddy? So, I don't know. Should we start? Should we wait a few minutes? Should we BS some? What's the dealio?
Yeah,
Well-
let's give it a couple minutes. Let everybody get in, since we're kind of blasting this everywhere, and
Yeah.
make sure
If you're
everybody gets an opportunity.
If you're like me and running behind, plug your glue guns in. Hopefully you have your parts cut out.
No.
Why don't we talk about why we're actually doing the Baby Brit, Baby Baron this month?
I want to talk about beer first, though.
Oh, okay.
If you're from Pennsylvania or the greater Northeast, you might know Trogs Brewery. It's awesome. It's right nearby. And, yeah. Okay, so why are we building this?
Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to talk about it?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
This is awkward because, like, I'm looking at you down here, but the camera's up there, and I feel like I should be looking at the camera, but when I look at the camera, I can't see your face, and it bothers me. But if I
Welcome to television.
it's awkward, man.
Welcome to my fight every month.
So, Joshua Orchard, whatever his name is on the forum, I can't remember right now for some reason. Brought to you by Troganator.
Or Henry's Hard Orange.
There you go. He built this Gotha World War I bomber out of foam board, and it's got like what, an 8-foot wingspan, something ridiculous like that.
6.5, I think, somewhere around
6.5, 8, whatever. We always exaggerate.
there.
Always exaggerating. All right, so and this thing's pretty impressive. He got well, I guess the whole idea, from what I understand, the idea of these Baby Baron, Baby Brit skins came from, I guess Josh got rasterized Stephen, Rosima, Rosacea, to print out the lozenge pattern for him to put on that, and then Rasterized lost his damn mind and put up on the forum for people, hey, if you want a scheme for the Baby Bloody Brit, whatever, Bloody Baron Baby thing, just to put it up. And, like, I don't know, how many people, if you could put it up on the chat, Rasterized, how many people have you done skins for so far, or have requested skins? You know? He lost that long. Oh, his mind.
Yeah, his mind.
It happens, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget, Pat. We are going to have a little bit of delay. So.
I'm okay with that because this whole thing's going to take what 15 minutes to build.
Yeah, something like that.
50, dude. That's a lot of work, man. That's awesome of you that you're willing to put in that much time for people. Again, a sign of insanity. So, anyway, the Gotha Gaggle. So, Josh Woodward has this Gotha bomber that's ridiculously big, and somehow the whole thing came about that we're going to build all these baby Barons and baby Brits, and the Gotha's going to fly, and we're going to fly around it or something.
We're going to fly support for it.
We're flying support, and the baby Brits are flying. You know, they're flying. What do they call cap? They're flying combat air patrol. You know, looking for the enemy, which we are. And I see. Here's the part I don't get. I think they should legitimately try to knock the Gotha out of the air, and we have to defend it.
Oh God, dude! I'm not. Look, I'm flying Baby Brit for the Dawn Patrol, and I will not even get near that Gotha because I don't want Josh coming down after me.
Dude, you're way bigger than him. Trust me.
Well, and I think part of that is, you know, even if we were to try something like that, I think it's going to be, without trying, it's going to be a lot of inadvertent combat.
Well, I figured if this devolves, okay. So the idea, we're not going to go after Josh's bomber because he's put a lot of time and effort, and it's really nice. But we are going to probably at some point end up tangling with each other. And if it devolves into combat, basically it's going to be every plane for itself. You're not going to know who's what. Because what? Oh, rasterize. Since you said that, I'm definitely going out after it. Where'd Andre go? Andre came in, Andre left. Oh, well.
Andre's probably on an apple.
Well, it's probably cold up there. Maybe a moose attacked him.
It was 56 degrees, and he was griping about a sweater.
Oh, God, I wish.
What?
Yeah, I did the conversion. It was I was very, very disappointed in my Canadian friend.
All right. So that did I explain that story at all? Because I feel like I stopped in.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna fly these little airplanes, and we'll probably end up smacking into each other on purpose, just because that's the way we are. And yeah, that's it. So hey Andre, you're back. Are we talking Andre from Canada or Andre from Ecuador? Good question.
So, just in case you guys haven't looked at the schedule, I actually just pulled it up. So, the Dawn Patrol flight is supposed to last on Saturday morning from 7:30 to 8. I know that initially we are going to just be flying around and trying not to hit each other, which means we're going to knock everybody out of the sky, because that's the way it always happens. But afterwards, I think we're actually talking about a actual combat session, not with the Gotha, but with the rest of the Baby Brits and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, we've all agreed to leave the Gotha alone. Although, I mean, I'm going to be tempted to buzz him.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on a second.
Eddie, are you inviting him?
Yes, I will. I was just confirming.
My fingers are not working.
So you guys have to bear with us. It's Pat's a virgin with this. He's usually on the other side harassing the hell out of me while I try to build. So
it's more fun that way.
It is.
And this has been, and I really wanted to see Pat do one, because this is kind of where the whole idea for the Build Nights came from, was Pat and I literally in the same place that we are right now, in my kitchen and him in his basement.
Yep.
Building Tommy Armoire, whatever you want to call him.
Tommy Love.
I'm gonna bring it over here.
His puffer and the guppy.
Guppy. Now I don't know which one is which. I don't remember which one I built versus you.
You built the. I don't remember.
See this tail though? That shark fin curve in the whale. That's my artistic interpretation of it. So.
Yes, I think that's why you had the. I think you had the Guppy.
Okay. Yeah, it's a fun plane. It flew great. It's a little smashed up now, but
Mine didn't do so well because of some electronic failures.
I thought you were gonna blame the wing.
No. Well, the wing kind of sucked, but it flew really fast, and once it was in the air, it was beautiful.
I screwed up everything.
I had a really bad vibration, and then I had an ESC go poof, and it was all bad. Well, the wing kind of sucked, but it flew really fast. And once
Hi,
Andre.
Andre.
You have a delay. Hey, Andre.
I had a really bad vibration, and then I had an ESC go
I don't like hearing ourselves talk.
Echo.
Woo. Yeah, hold on here. Let me get my headphones, boys.
So I'm going to quickly mute Andre for a second until he gives me a thumbs up while he looks for his headphones.
Well, if he can't hear you, how's he going to?
Hell, he can hear us. I muted his microphone.
Andre, if you can hear us, stand on one foot. See?
Look, he's on. He changed from one foot to the other. So he did 1 foot both ways.
That doesn't count.
I'll just wait till I see him pop up, and then we'll. But all right.
So I hope everyone took the time to not procrastinate like I did and still have plans to cut. Although I did preemptively get ahead of other things. Hey, I see headphones on Andre, so he's plugging up.
Whose dog is that?
That's Eddie's.
That's my Samoyed. Patrick, I have many, many fingers for you. But you know what this is? It's a flock of your favorite.
All right, here we go. Andres is like
Good
flopping
evening.
around that he's
Hello.
there.
Hey, Andre, what's up, buddy?
I muted him by accident.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Hi,
There we go.
Andre. Sorry, Ben's mean.
Oh, he locked
Hey.
up. There he goes.
What is going on?
Hey, it's all you, buddy. It's that Canadian internet service.
We have no
I'm
idea.
on a lav mic.
Huh?
Do what?
What?
Everybody
Wow.
can hear you right now, Andre.
You're winning.
All right, hold on.
USA is what is this, soccer season or something?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
27. Yes, we heard you.
I don't know why the delays there, guys.
We're not getting a delay.
Yeah, you have to get off of whatever you're on watching us and get on Google Hangouts, man.
I am on Google Hangouts. I wonder. Hold on.
Oh, hey, where the chat
know.
is, there's a feed coming from there also.
Yeah, hold on. Got it. I'm killing all that stuff. All right, is that better?
You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Rasterized. Later, buddy. Ready? Later, buddy.
Brody.
Thanks
So
for all
you're-
your work, man. Seriously. Thank you.
All right, there.
Yay.
The world is saying, sorry about that, guys.
Oh, no problem, brother. It's Saturday. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a few drinks, and we're going to build some airplanes.
Okay, hold on.
He's like, wait. Now, Andre, when you get done building my plane, what are you going to have to build?
That's crazy. Okay, so when Josh passed this, he says, you realize this is a sheet more than the FT Explorer. And you realize it is I've got a photo of it, so at least I have a reference. And I'm just looking at this thing going, this is a lot of foam.
Is that the Sea Duck?
That's the Sea Duck, yes.
Oh, good lord.
That's a lot of foam. That's a lot of plane. So I'm
Yeah.
going to have some fun. I'm going to take my time and go through it. Cause the biggest thing I do not want to do is muck it up, right? Because I want to get this thing going.
Let's show everybody instead of just showing. There we go. Now we're showing Andre and his big old pile.
My camera's terrible, guys. I'm sorry. Wow. It's all stretched. Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It's your head, man.
I mean, oh, so rude.
Look at that. Plane. More plane. Oh, there's a. I think this is the fuse. Yeah, this is the main fuselage. This is gonna take me a little bit of time to figure out. So. That's gonna be cool. Still, it'll be an interesting build.
How many sheets does that thing take?
Hold on. I'll have to count. I want to say like 7 or 8 sheets. I got the bulk behind. But you know what was neat? This foam. I don't know if anybody's worked with the water resistant stuff though. It comes out of the sheets after being cut really nicely, actually.
Cool.
Hey, let me interject. Hey, Patrick, did you see you just typed in the chat? Jugsy from
I
down
know.
under.
I saw that. G'day, mate.
Jugsy, we're really happy to see you on here, buddy.
Jugsy, I was at a graduation party earlier today, and somebody was drinking a Foster's. And I knew this guy from New Zealand back when I was in college, and he wasn't a fan of Foster's. He'd say Foster's Australian for crap. And you know, that's those Kiwis. They're angry people. Just look at Bruce.
All right. Well, why don't you lay out what you got going on, Patrick? Switch your camera and lay out for everybody.
Man. I like you directing me. I mean, telling me.
Wow.
That's only because I've been directed many a time.
And I like watching Pat get told what to do. It's kind of funny.
So here is. Oops. Can you see it now? Because things are weird. There we go.
Yes, we can see everything perfectly fine, Patrick.
The camera
Pat,
good?
Yep, it's all good. Pat, Jugsy says, Foster's is what we send overseas to keep our good stuff secret. He said, you literally will not find it in a bar here, maybe in a dark corner of a bottle shop.
Yeah, that's my understanding of the whole thing. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I tried it once and wasn't impressed. So, anyway, I got all my pieces laid out here. Got my wing, got my tail, got my vertical tail, fuselage. You can't see that, can you? Fuselage, spar, 2 fuselage doublers, and the little power pod cutout. And despite what I told Eddie earlier, I'm going to start with the power pod cutout. I'm not actually going to put a firewall on mine right now because I'm not sure if I'm ordering an 1804 motor for this or if I'm using one of the ones at hand. And the difference between that is I have this one, which is I only have a stick mount for, so I'd have to build a firewall that will accept the stick mount, which is no big deal. But I'd rather do that before I put it on than afterwards.
Right, absolutely.
So, hey, if you know what you're building, rock out the firewall. I'm just kind of curious. How do folks, if anybody out there wants to add their opinion, I know, Eddie, you like the coroplast firewalls, but that's probably too heavy for this particular airplane.
You know, honestly, it's really just a coroplast power pod. Weight-wise, was probably grams different from on a full-size plane, because I actually have the same motor and prop set up on a foam power pod and a coroplast power pod, and they're almost identical.
Yeah,
not anything you would notice.
They take a pretty good beating. I always encase mine in packing tape completely, and even then, they're they have a very limited life. And the connection between the firewall and the foam board just being this U shape here, I don't like. So I typically back it with squares of foam board, so there's a little more depth in there, so you got more bite. And I found that helps a lot. So anyway, that's me. I'm rough on power pods.
Yeah, you are.
Have an opinion?
So talking about the flight characteristics of the Baby Bear and Baby Brit, I was speaking with Spawns about this earlier. Do not, unless you are crazy, which I could definitely see Pat doing it, do not put a 2204 motor on this. It makes it way super twitchy.
Aww.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna have a really twitchy airplane. Hey Wendy, good luck.
So he just said it's actually to the point of almost overpowering it. And he said ideally at 1806, and then start with 50% expo and 50% rates, and go from there, and then adjust it as accordingly as you feel.
So a 2812 is okay then?
Yeah. If you're crazy like me and you, sure. You know what I mean? But for most people, no. You need to stick with a 1806 or something equivalent in size.
That's completely understandable because these planes are tiny anyway. So yeah, adding ridiculous amounts of power. I mean, I'm all about Tim the Toolman Taylor and more power up to a point.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
then it becomes not any fun. Yes, sir.
We arrived at the conclusion that this is an A fold, right?
Yes.
So A for above.
You got it.
Yes. So, Richard, I'm going to keep interjecting. I'll keep reading the chat as you're going along. Richard Kennedy said he said that's the only way to fly. He's throwing a 2204 with a 6. I think scroll too much. 6 by 4.5 prop on there. You're kind of crazy, man. Because you go to firewall that thing, I know it's going to start to torque. But and then Jugsy, I mean, it all depends on your speed or your skill level. Is whether you want to put a 2204 on a mini speedster. I did the same thing. What I found was if you do the landing gear and try to take off from the ground, it torque rolls too bad. But if you hand launch it, you've got 6 feet in the air to correct it. So.
Or drill itself into the ground harder.
Or drill itself into the ground harder, yeah.
So, if anybody wonders why I'm holding my glue gun here and pushing on the end of the stick, I don't know if my glue gun is shot or if the sticks I bought are just a smaller diameter because the trigger thingy doesn't grasp it, so I have to manually push in. I do have this one, but I don't like it as much as my smaller one. I bought this one at Home Depot. It's an Aero TR550, and I just don't like it. It doesn't work except I got all over my fingers now.
I love this glue gun, and I got it, I think, at Walmart.
The Pro?
Well, hold on. Let me present you there, buddy.
The Pro 100.
Yeah.
There you go.
I picked it up at Walmart for, I believe, $20.
Yeah.
It comes with 2 different tips. As you can see, plenty of options for stands, on-off switch. I love this glue gun.
Dual temperature or no?
No, single temp.
Hi, Wendy. Sorry, I see.
Hi, Wendy.
Everybody saying hi, Wendy.
Hey,
Unofficial mascot right there, I'm telling you.
Wow.
Ooh.
The unofficial mascot. I'll let you deal with the repercussions of that.
Oh, brother.
Wow. Anyway, actually, see, I run with. I've been debating about getting the Ad Tech, either the 100 or 200. But my Sure Bonder that I picked up at Hobby Lobby has been so great to me that I really can't justify spending the money to get a new one.
Right. I got mine because I decided, and yeah, this is probably not the best avenue for me to have this discussion, but I went to work.
I know the story.
Yeah, Patrick got a phone call. I went to work about 8 months back, and it was a Saturday, we were really slow, I was going to build a plane. I don't even remember what I was building now, and I plugged up my glue gun to let it warm up, and thank God I was close. A giant fireball shot out of it, and it caught on fire in the office.
Oh, God.
Were you, using fuel?
No, evidently, because it had been acting weird, but evidently in the nozzle, there was, plastic melting on top of hot glue, so then all of a sudden it just shot out, and everything exploded. It blew the power strip. I mean, it was I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? So, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I am putting a fire out on my desk.
You haven't heard, Andre? That's that new nitro-laced glue that he likes using.
Yeah, it's got a little kicker to it, eh?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it does.
It's a nuclear fission heated gun.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, I guess I got to play the role of Eddie tonight since Eddie's doing his own thing. So explain what you did with the firewall or with your power pod and how you got it all set up. You got to remember, there's some people out there that have never built and are watching.
Sorry, Ben. I'm trying to catch up.
I know you are. I know you are. I'll do it. I'm free tonight.
From using the template, I put 4 score lines down, and I pulled the foam out from between the two sets of score lines, and then I folded it up such that the sides are sitting on top of the base, and that's an A fold. And the way I remember it, and most people I think I've talked to, A stands for above, so the sides sit above the base.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is the B fold, where it's the side, so the sides would sit down the side, flush with the bottom of the base.
Yep.
And that's that.
And if you can show them the angle thrust that's cut in, and explain why we put it on the firewall on the correct
Show
side.
them that because I didn't like it, so I cut it square, and I'll shim the motor as
There
I
you go,
go.
Ben.
All right. Well, let's pull up Eddie real quick, and we'll. Yeah, I remember that conversation now. Sorry, Pat.
Let
Feeling
me
is an independent
put
thinker.
something dark behind it, and you will
Yep.
see that it is angled.
So, you guys, when you're building this, if you got a speed build kit, or there is no speed build kits, good lord, the templates, you got to make sure you put your firewall on that angled cut. It's actually putting a little bit of down thrust and right angle thrust in to counteract the torque of the motor. If you don't, then you're going to have to go back and shim it like Pat's deciding he's a big boy and going to do on his own.
Yeah, and I prefer to do
Thank
that
you, Eddie.
over than some sort of foam cut. Thrust angle.
That demonstration brought to you by the Z-Bend pliers from Hobby King.
Speaking of Z-bend pliers, I can't find mine. I'm pretty sure I loaned them to somebody.
They weren't to
months
me.
and months ago, and they never came home. And I can't even remember who I would have loaned them to at this point.
Not me.
Oh, you didn't get the memo? I walked in your house and grabbed them real quick.
You should have grabbed a beer while you were there, man.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so what are you doing now, Pat?
I'm fidgeting right now. I'm going to start working on the wing. I have the top and bottom of the wing cut out as one piece. I guess I'll talk about the skins. If anybody out there is going to be building the skins and hasn't applied them yet, what I did, and this was what Dan recommended Spawnholz, I peeled the paper off front and back, get rid of the paper that comes on the foam board, which makes me very happy because I hate the paper foam board. I cut out my skins that were printed out on 11x16 paper, cut them out, flipped them upside down so that the back side of the skin was up, and I sprayed them with 3M Super 77 spray adhesive.
And where did you get that spray adhesive, Pat?
I got it at Michael's. Michael's.
Cool.
Arts and crafts, man.
Mhm.
You can buy it anywhere. Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, True Value.
Or for the really lazy ones out there, or if you're so busy with work, like me, Amazon, and then ship directly to your house.
There you
That'll
go.
do it too.
So, and it actually was really nice because once you get the pieces that are skinned, like the fuse, the tail, and such, once you have it laid on, then I just cut out around the skin itself to cut the foam, and since the stock paper was peeled off, and I mean, it was super easy to cut. This is the way to go. I mean, here's a shout out to Flight Test to get Rasterize to do this for all their planes and pay him for it because this is
Right.
awesome.
Oh yeah. And I know this came up in our private conversations the other day too in our chat group. Is that you need to, if you are going to print it, you need to try to do the 11x17. If you're not able to have access to an 11x17, you actually can talk to Rasterize, and he'll be able to set it up formatted for your standard 8.5 by 11 printer at home printer.
Awesome.
The guys on the chat are saying froze up and they lost audio.
Okay.
If it's the stream on the Wix page, I don't know. Here, I'll post the link so they can actually go to the Google Events one.
Yeah, the Wix, I was noticing the Wix was really chuggy. So I went straight to Google. Or YouTube, I should say.
Yeah. I refreshed it. It's
Richard Kennedy says it's fine.
Yeah, so if you can refresh it, it should pick back up and go. If not, Google. We are streaming live to YouTube also. That's the Wix site is just literally for. We had several requests for chat, so they could have like an open forum chat in there, and so we're testing.
Unzip.
It sounded like it, didn't it?
Just put your zipper up, Eddie.
You know what? If you can find a zipper on these shorts, you're amazing.
I'm not searching for a zipper on your shorts, brother.
Look, at this point, it's our running joke, but with this camera angle, at least we can see Pat actually has pants on, so.
Right?
For now, if I keep going, who knows? So, I don't know where folks lost the feed, but I was going over the skins and how wonderful they are. Oh, Rascals. Yeah, cool. And another thing I'd like to point out, because it's really an ego boost for me, is that Richard took my scheme and put it on the Phoenix Point Sim. So that means I'm awesome. Thank you, Richard, for acknowledging my awesomeness.
Let's not go that far.
Richard, you have fallen horribly.
So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to, and this is going to be the most time-consuming thing, I'm going to put the score lines in for the wing. And somehow, my wing template does not perfectly match my cutout wings, and that's just because I screwed up cutting out the wing template. My wings are correct. But no big deal. I'm going to center it up as best I can. It really doesn't matter since we're just going from one end to the other. I'm going to find a pencil. Maybe. Where's my pencil? There it is. And without the paper on it, I'm just going to make an indentation. Actually, I probably don't even really need to do that since it is corner to corner, but my straight thing is not that long. And if I get my long straight thingy, I'll have to...
And thus goes the PG-13.
Ah, that's PG-13. Alright, hang on. There we go.
Good job, Pat.
Thank you, sir.
He's concentrating. He stopped talking.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're all in trouble.
This is why I'm contemplating.
Alright, so score line for the red dashed line. And so I guess here's my interpretation of this thing. And if I'm wrong, please somebody tell me, because as Eddie knows,
You're wrong.
I'm wrong with doing wings.
You're wrong. Red dash is 50% score cut.
That's what I said.
You said crease.
Yeah, it's a score cut, so you crease it.
Blue on their plans. Blue is crease. Red is 50% score cut.
Hey, Pat, it should look like that.
So these double dash lines, you just like indent.
You can. That's what I do, but just FYI.
So, Ben, I'm confused then. If
Pat,
you don't listen,
look at my picture.
I can't. Okay. I'm gonna look at you, Eddie.
Here, I'll pull you up on the main screen.
There we go. I got you.
So.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Just like the normal airfoil, like we did before.
Yeah.
Double bevel on the short side.
Right. That's exactly what I was talking about.
And then it will fold up right on the spar like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And you get your normal airfoil.
That's what I was going to go do.
You're doing it right. Ben's just being mean.
Listen, you got to remember, we were discussing this earlier today, Eddie, is that there are people on here that aren't very good builders or brand new builders even, so.
Right.
And that's why Spawns' plans
Terminology is important.
It is.
Yes.
It's Spons's plans correlate to the original flight test plans. So black is cut, red is 50%, blue is crease.
And then honestly, and I will show you, I do all of mine. I break them through on my airfoils. I just do. It works for me. I get a good, pretty airfoil.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the amount of extreme packing tape I put on the wings, I don't have to worry about anything breaking through. I will. For this one, I probably won't, but on a bigger wing, I would, run a very small bead of hot glue in each one of those creases. Then when I make the airfoil, it'll actually help it hold the airfoil. I'll do a Josh Bixler.
Hey, so Mike's put it in the private chat that A, Pat, leave your pants on, and B, you stole his scheme, I guess. So.
Look,
Uh-oh.
No. Mike had the candy cane scheme. I have the wintergreen scheme. Totally different.
It's a different color.
Exactly, it's totally different.
Oh man. All right. And Spons has requested it. He said he might be able to jump in here with us in a few minutes.
Absolutely.
So
It's
I'm
about
going
time.
to send him.
Oh, Andre muted himself.
Tell him to hurry up
Almost.
because we're screwing stuff up.
No.
All right. There we go.
So I'm still just marking score lines.
Do. All right.
Marking score lines.
So kind of going back, I mean, since we'll have the witty commentary, I kind of went back and listened to the last podcast for Community Cast, and you know what? If you actually start sitting there and writing out everything, there was so much information in that podcast given out. I mean, I was actually pretty amazed.
Which one? About the Flight Fest thing?
About Flight Fest and preparing.
Oh, dude, we just totally made all that crap up.
Well, I always pull it out of my rear end. I thought that's what we all did. I thought it was standard operating procedure.
And it was amazing.
I hope it was helpful to people. Really, for me, I hope people will go on the article. Is the article up yet? I don't even know.
I don't know, sir.
I don't know either. I gotta look into that. I hope people go on because we do. Hopefully, we will post links to local places like Crossroads Pizza that is outstanding. Woods Grocery, the IGA, places where you can get your staple stuff that you need.
Yep, and I've been getting the new updates, emails that have been coming out pretty lately. Or it's nice to be informed, you know.
Yeah. All right, so I have marked stuff, and I've done my score cut for the red line, and now I'm going to bevel back to the two light blue dash lines with my razor knife. And I'm not nearly as good at this as Bixler is. He does this like butter.
Takes lots of practice.
I even have a fairly sharp blade on here. Alright, so I'm going to put a new blade in. Where are they at? Pardon my camera move. Oops. There we go. Back. Where did I put my blades?
And do you like using the number 11 blade for that?
Yeah. Look, this is not a paid advertisement, but these Pro Edge blades are awesome. They're a lot better, in my estimation, than the X-Acto blades.
I've heard they keep their edge a lot longer.
Yeah. The nice, like when I'm doing something like this, and I'm really want to be, careful about cuts, I will replace them often, but I don't throw them away. I actually put them in a pile on my table here, and because I don't know what to do with them otherwise at the moment. But they're still perfectly usable for cuts that you don't, you aren't worried about, like a bevel and ripping the foam and stuff. So I'm putting it in the pile. There it goes.
I like how you use like real X-Acto blades there, Patrick. This is my blade of choice.
I got nothing against that either, man.
Get them from Walmart, like 10, no, let's see, 50 of them, I think was $10. I bought these before I went to Flight Fest 14.
Nice.
I still have, not a ton, but I've probably got 20 left, so.
Yeah, see, and I've got the Menards version of the same case. It's 50 blades and.
So hey, Jugsy, after my little Gary the Goat comment last night, I actually oh crap, I went a little bit too deep there. I actually went on YouTube and started a marathon watching of Gary the Goat videos, and I gotta say, some were very entertaining, and some were actually kind of philosophically deep and such. I enjoyed it.
So we can. Hi,
Wow.
Spons. You're up there with everybody.
Hey, everybody.
I like
Hey,
that,
buddy.
Hey, Dan.
How is it going?
like that shirt there, bud.
We have wings.
I'm still winging it.
Patrick said he wanted to
Literally
come into this
working on
bowl. Well, literally, Patrick said he wanted to come into this build cold.
Ooh,
Yep.
lost Andre.
And
Oh, there's there. Okay. I thought we
So-
lost you.
I
Oh,
think
I'm just being quiet. I'm
I think
thinking.
he's struggling a little bit, but that's okay because that's why we're here.
All right. So while I'm at it, for the crease lines, I'll either cut them like Eddie did, or I like to take the rounded edge of this this ruler and just compress the foam like that, and it works.
That
well.
works. I like to use the tip end of a barbecue skewer, but that works too. Plastic gift cards work pretty nice for that.
Oh, I don't have those. I use those for control horns.
Or firewalls sections.
Oh, here's a question for folks. I need to make a new control horn for my little Hobby King DLG because one of them, I threw it and the control horn flew off because, Chinese quality. And it's tiny. And I tried cutting one out of a piece of, I guess it was basswood sheet. And when I went to drill the hole for the control rod, it just broke. I mean, it just
You
broke.
need a laser cutter.
Well, yeah,
there's
we
my
all.
solution. All right.
Pat, have you tried maybe a like a wide zip tie?
Why zip tie? I'm confused, Eddie.
Well, I mean, just if you're just you don't have to make it adjustable, so you just get a
Oh.
zip tie.
I got you. Huh, interesting.
You can use a craft stick too, popsicle stick.
Mm-hmm.
Those work really well.
That's what I used on my first big build.
Yeah.
All right.
Patrick's always getting distracted. Don't worry.
Yeah. Joshua, the creator of the Gotha, is on here. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick, did you do that double bevel with your fingernail, or?
Yes, I'm sure.
He tried to do it with a razor blade, that X-Acto knife.
Did he chew it out? That looks really.
Hey, Dan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, let me show you where I'm at.
Okay.
Okay. So can you see this clearly?
I can see that very clearly, yes.
Okay. So you know these lines and such because you drew and you designed this whole thing, right?
I vaguely remember doing that, yes.
Now, my failure was to take the other side of this, the underside of the wing, the
Yes.
template on, and I don't know where it is now.
That's
Are there
really
any
weird.
Four cuts other than what's shown on here.
Okay. That's not good because you have some cuts on the other side there.
I do?
Well,
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Where are they at?
He's looking for
You need
measurements
to
now.
get your plans, dude.
Okay, how many and what types? I'll figure out the rest.
Oh God.
You seriously
There's
don't have
one.
that? Oh
there's
my
literally,
God.
Pat, there's one. And
No, there's the
There's
cutouts
three.
for the tabs for the fuselage.
Oh,
where that
you're
joint.
talking about,
I don't care
this.
about that.
Yes,
No.
yes.
I don't care about those.
No, Dan,
Okay.
what he's talking about is he thinks there's another one of these
Yeah.
sections.
Oh no,
Sure
those
enough.
are all on the side of the top plate.
So I've got them all done, is what you're saying. If you bring me
Yes.
You've got them all done, yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Eddie. All right.
Eddie,
Here's something I don't have.
no more guest builders.
Hey, you know what?
Look,
It's entertaining, and this is the fastest build we're gonna get through.
Yeah, no kidding.
Are you really an hour in and you're still working on the wing?
We spent 30 minutes talking about what we were gonna do before we started.
you're
Awesome.
BSing a lot, man.
I like your shirt, Pat.
Thank you. I like yours too. Can I have
Thanks. I only have one. This is a one and only original.
one? Can I have that one?
Talk to me at the campfire at Flight Fest.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you were always the guy to give the shirt off your back. Let's go, phone
Right.
up.
All right. So next, for those who are interested, I'm going to go ahead and do the score cut through the spar so that you can fold it in half. And once we fold it in half, we are going to glue it together. Now, here's what I'm thinking. And first of all, I don't like the paper backing. I don't like a paper-to-paper glue joint. So either way I go, I'm peeling the backside of this paper off and getting rid of it. Now, I'm undecided right now if I'm going to hot glue the thing together or 3M77 the thing.
I think you'd be fine either way. Here's the one thing I'd say, comment about having a paper-to-paper glue joint. That spar is going to be completely immobilized inside the wing, so there really isn't any chance for it to separate. And the paper is actually going to add a little bit of strength to the spar. So.
Okay. I'll take your advice.
Well,
Go, Patrick, go.
and Spons, correct me if I'm wrong in this. With the paper being fibrous, that glue's actually going to soak in there, and it's going to create a bond between the two sides a lot better than straight up foam. Correct?
Probably, yeah. But like I said, the tabs on the spar that lock it into the wing are really going to keep it from opening up ever. So I like keeping the paper on the spar because I know it's going to add some strength to that wing spar. Not that this plane is so small. I think you'd be fine if you took the paper off or if you left it on either way, because the being as small as it is, that wing is incredibly stiff anyway.
And Joshua Orchard's chiming in on the chat, and anytime that man starts speaking about building, I tend to listen.
Where is the
Oh,
Q&A?
well, there's no actual true Q&A. They're going to the Wix site. I'll let Eddie give you the.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he said he punctures the paper on both sides so the foam can bond in certain places.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
And then he used hot glue.
Yep, so the glue can go through. There, I found the link to the Q&A.
I just put it in our chat too. in case you
Okay.
needed it.
So, Dan, what were you up to today? You had a wedding or a party?
Well, Delaney, our youngest, is in select soccer, and we have a soccer tournament this weekend. So she had 2 games today out in the 90-degree heat, and then we had a graduation party for some friends to go to this evening. So it was a busy day, and another soccer game at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
All right, Jugsy, you got to explain that. He said he won't put hot glue anywhere near his firewalls. That melts, and he's found with pushers the melting glue is slowly pulled through and around the engine. I've never had that happen. Do you got it? I mean, well, you are in Australia. It's got to be the 110-degree
It might be
temperature.
120 degrees down there.
Yeah.
Fahrenheit, that is.
I was gonna say because that's a little on the extreme side. So actually, you know what? Here's a good question, Andre, for you.
Hello.
You're on the other end of this heat cold spectrum. What have you found to be true with the hot glue gun? The joints and stuff up there, they become a little bit more brittle just due to the weather, or?
Yeah, if you have a good hit They will almost exactly like in the summer. They'll pop. I actually have to get myself a better glue gun because I noticed I was having a few issues over the winter. So, but I mean, I
crap.
flew.
Sorry, I'm great.
Mac glue his fingers together.
I got glue on my.
On your pretty
No.
graphics.
I
Don't do that.
actually the arrow was really good this winter because I was hammering on that in some pretty cold temperatures and it held up. And it's one of those things that you'll do an impact and it'll just separate and just pop off. So you just get there and slap in some fresh glue and go. But I mean, generally, the plane's held up pretty good because I mean, I flew that classic old FT Racer for the longest time, and it held up in some pretty
You
extreme.
haven't stopped flying it yet, have you?
It's sitting in the back. I kind of had it doing the EDF project, and then Flight Test sent me a new one. I haven't built it yet.
Well, why would you? That thing's special, man.
I know, and I just started mucking around with the other projects. I've just been so busy with everything that I haven't really worried about it, and the arrows and everything, and all the other projects. So
I'm telling you, I know it's been brought up before. You bring that down, put it up for an auction. I bet you we could get some pretty pennies for it.
I really think you should just give it a Viking funeral and throw it on the fire pyre at Flight Fest this year and put it on its
Yours
misery.
going to be there, so he can officiate the whole thing.
Right? Make it all official.
Hey, you guys are gonna like this. So my on Friday, my buddy was playing with they got a laser cutter at work. So he cut me up a bunch of firewall pieces and control surface, all that stuff. And then I fired him over the Baby Baron plans, and he's going to print that for me on Monday. So I will have a laser cut version of the Baby Baron.
Awesome.
You are a rock star.
I can't wait to see this thing.
Truly hate you right now.
Please allow me to say.
I just chuckled. I got spoiled. I mean, honestly, I haven't. The arrows were my first scratch build kits, and now it's kind of like, oh, I don't want to go back.
I've gotten myself pretty spoiled. I haven't done any scratch building in a while until this plane, and I'm like, oh my god, this is annoying.
Yeah.
I've gotten so lazy.
You need the time to cut the plans together and everything. My dad loves it because while he's retired, he can do it. But it's just like and now I'm sitting here looking at this pile of stuff for the duck, going, I don't know if these are A or B's or.
Yes.
So, I think honestly on this plane I'm gonna have to wait till the build video comes out because this thing is just I'm here looking at these going, I don't want to glue anything wrong. So.
See, at least you have parts to look at. I get a set of files from Flight Test and have to try to put the plans together before the build video comes out. So you're experiencing a little bit of my pain.
Hey, Eddie, measure your tab slot from the leading edge for the spar for him.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. You're on it, buddy.
Well, let's see here.
Patrick, that looks very pliable, man. Holy moly.
It looks like from the center of the double bevel to the center of the spar is 2.5 millimeters.
In an American, that's...
You sure
An
you're not
inch.
talking centimeters?
Yeah, so it's an inch.
See,
Alright.
that'd be 2.5.
I'm going to pull a plan.
See, there we go. So that's what my ultimate goal was to aggravate Spawns enough that he's just going to pull them up.
Did he leave?
Patrick,
Yo,
see?
I got you, bruh.
And that is a whopping... Yeah. Let's see. To the hole.
Let's see how accurately Eddie can use a...
If I did it on the right side, it'd be better.
Hey, that's
I'm
eyeballing
sorry
it.
for the people expecting to learn how to build something today because I'm just making it
No,
You should be,
Tony
because I
Homies
don't know
Day.
what you're doing. Motif Tony Homies?
Yeah. Chief Tony Homies.
Chief Tony Homies.
Homers. Gotta say it right.
Motif Tony homies.
That was nice. Who did that?
Eddie.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay, so
I'm just waiting to watch this one.
If you want to like wait a couple more seconds to get the official measurement, or are you just gonna go for it, Pat?
if you're going to give me the official, I'll wait. Compare.
To the center, from the center of the double bevel to the center of the spar is 1 inch.
That's what he said.
Is that what he said? I wasn't listening.
Yes, it was.
Well, there you go.
Andre,
And
please
then
do my correction.
And then your openings for that spar are going to be 3/8 of an inch because you got 2 layers of foam there.
What?
How many people are actually building along?
Unknown, sir. No one's really talked about it. Usually there's a bunch of questions as we're going along, so.
That's because I'm doing such a good job.
That
Later,
must be it.
Josh. Happy nail day.
Yeah. I hope he's talking about something on his plane and not his actual nails.
No, I think he might be talking about his actual nails. No, I'm serious.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I gotta do my nails. That's creepy.
Joshua, did he fix his plane? I watched a video today that was very upsetting.
I don't think he's gonna get that fixed before Flight Fest.
You talking about the J-22?
Yeah, that was.
You know, it
I
doesn't
almost
look
cried.
too bad. I mean, if he had time to work on it, he could
Yes. Yeah.
fix it. Wow, people are leaving rows. Ryan left. Josh left. We must be boring. Yeah, good times.
Keep trucking along, boss.
Hang on a sec. What's up, dude? Yeah. Szechuan beef. Cool.
What is going on?
He's ordering his dinner.
Never mind. I got nothing for you.
Dude, people are in my basement. This is going to happen. I'm not changing my life for
build nights.
Oh my gosh.
Andre's just got all kinds of duck parts, and he looks like very confused.
I'm not. No, I'm sorting through. It's like this giant pile. I know what the spars are, but
Right.
there's certain cuts, and I'm like, does that go there? And I'm like, I know there's spars to the wing, but are they these or these?
There's actually 3. There's the one main big one, and there's 2 small ones that go on the
That's
outside.
what I was thinking. Yeah, you got the 2 little ones on the side and the one running through. Yeah.
Yep.
Ross, I believe they are spawns. You got the Baby Brit plans in your index, correct?
The what? The what now?
Baby Brit plans are in the index.
Correct, yes. Yep. So
There you go, Ross.
I will, Ross is asking. I will post a link up momentarily.
And the only difference there is the tail.
The wing and the tail feathers, the empennage
Oh,
and the wing are
More
different.
different.
Yeah, but the fuselage, doublers, all that good stuff is exactly the same. I will post a link in the live chat here momentarily.
Nice. That's gonna be fun. I've got my old FT Scout, which is pretty well ready to be retired. So all the parts are just gonna come off that, and I'm probably gonna run the thing on 3S since I've got some 800s coming in finally. So yeah, I'm gonna go from a 2S scenario to a 3S scenario.
The Baby Baron,
Yes, sir.
hold on to the sticks when you do that.
Oh, you know how I fly.
Hey, Spawns.
Yes, sir.
Do both the Brit and the Baron fly basically the same? I'm going to say yes because there's not much difference.
Right.
And then let me ask a question because honestly, I suck at this when it comes to scratch building, and I really envy. Bless you. I really envy how you do how you did the cutouts with the Bloody Baron on the wingtips, on the elevator.
Oh,
I'm sorry, on the ailerons.
Scallops. Yeah.
Do you have a trick to do those to make them pretty, or are you just that good?
I'm never gonna say I'm that good.
I mean,
The thing I found that works the best is for those is use your number 11 X-Acto. Don't try to use your folding utility blade for those. You can, but it's not as easy to kind of work the curve. But when you're cutting those, start way outside of the cut and finish way outside of the cut. So you're not trying to cut like exactly right on that.
Right.
So start way ahead of it and finish way outside of it.
Yeah,
Yep.
as you can
Just
see,
like
I
that,
haven't done mine yet.
Yep. And you
And,
can leave them off; it'll fly just fine without them. But
Well,
if you're doing
what
the graphics,
Well, and I'm not, as we all know, I have to do a purple Prince thing playing.
Purple rain.
That's right. But
goody.
what I was
1000's
thinking,
is singing again.
one of the things that I had thought about, and that's why I asked, is and Bixler brought this up a long time ago, and I didn't realize it until I tried it. If you were to trace those on, you should be able to sandpaper those probably as clean as you could cut them.
You could try. Give it a shot.
you gotta have a little bit of you gotta find something that's curved, that has that right angle curve.
Yep.
That's like sculpting, man.
Yeah, and
I just like grabbing
horrible.
a razor blade and hacking away at it.
All right, so
It's not that bad.
I'm gonna ship you this wing because I don't feel like doing it.
Okay. All right. Send it on over.
Get you a number 11 X-Acto blade, and you use the tip. See the tip? See how?
See what
thin-
happened? Look at the tip of my blade.
You've got to put a new one on there, buddy.
Yeah, you
don't
need
have
a
any
sharp
more.
blade.
I don't have any more.
What I keep on my build bench all the time when I'm using my number 11 X-Acto blade is my honing stone.
Buy you one of those, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, Sam. I just cut my dog with the X-Acto knife.
Is he all right?
Wow, good job,
Oh,
Pat.
he didn't even notice.
And for me personally, I know I've talked about it in one of the other builds, is that Fiskar's finger trace with the
Yep.
number 11 blade.
I have that one too.
It works wonderfully. I mean,
Oh, is that the one that has the?
do you got your spawns? Because if not, I'll go out in my garage and grab
I'll
it.
grab it. It's right behind me.
Is that the one you can do curves with, like it rotates?
Yeah, well, the way it's set up is it's like a ring. You put it on your finger, so literally as you're tracing it with your finger, it's cutting it. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, they're really, really nice.
Yeah, it's this guy right here. I don't know
Yep.
if everybody can see me or not, but you just slip your
They
finger
can now.
through there,
Hold up.
and just kind
Hold
of
it up just a little bit.
almost
up
like
higher.
you're
There you go.
up higher.
Right there.
So just goes through your finger like that, and then you kind of use it like you're just drawing with your finger at that point in time.
Oh,
But again-
nice.
The biggest thing with any number 11 X-Acto blade is making sure you have a sharp blade, especially when you're doing those kind of contour cuts and stuff. You need a sharp blade. So what I like to do is I keep my knife honing stone on my build bench, and I use these for as long as I can, and I just keep sharpening them all the time.
I use
But
800 or 1200 grit sandpaper, and then
that'll
I
work too.
use the old leather belt.
Stropping it.
Yep, sharpening it.
That works too, but the big old box of 100 blades works really nice too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's niceness right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get myself one of those because I'd rather not do the sharpening all the time, but it works.
Well, and
This
I'm
is-
cheap too.
Do what, Pat?
I said I'm cheap too. So
You know what else works really good for this build is if you actually have the entire template for the wing, it goes a lot faster.
at one point I had it.
Hey, Pat, I've got it here. Come, just here. Take it. Look,
Grab it through the screen.
Just grab it. Here, I got you.
Coming at you. Is anybody still watching us?
If they're not,
Yeah,
we're
we
just
have
our own
11
pleasure.
viewers right now, Patrick.
11.
11 viewers.
Testicles.
Hey, we're here for our own pleasure. I thought that
Hey,
was...
and you know what, guys? The Q&A is here too. I know we've got the chat, but the Q&A is still up, and I'm watching it. So if you do have a question, and you don't want to be on the other chat, you can throw it in here too. We're watching a little bit of everything.
Fancy.
The other thing is, and then it's just, we all find our little tricks that works for us, is if you are cutting delicate stuff, if you splay out the rest of your hands, so your index or your middle finger, your ring finger, and especially your pinky, if you splay them out and helps stabilize as you're cutting, it helps to keep it a lot more smooth and working. It's just... So if I were to... This is my... I need something kind of flat. Okay, so if I'm cutting on this, instead of just trying to hold the blade and cut like this, right? If I splay my fingers out on it, it helps stabilize your whole hand so that as you're cutting it, it's keeping it where you want instead of wobbling just a little bit. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So, like I said, just tips and tricks that I've learned with different stuff, you know what I mean?
So I'm getting a star in now.
Pat, that glue gun is nice. Did you get that at the Smithsonian?
You weren't here for the discussion of the glue gun. Okay, so I don't know if it's my glue gun is worn out or these sticks that I bought are just a little bit smaller diameter. But
they're very clear, though.
It doesn't grab. So I have to...
So you got to manually feed the glue gun.
Now, I do have this glue, but I don't like it.
Okay.
One reason I don't like it is because it just got a big glob of glue on my fuselage.
Oh, no.
So I'm putting it further away because it's in timeout.
Yeah.
The glue gun has been grounded.
It's shunned.
Oh, Ross, trust me, it's not just you. If we were actually discussing this today, when we did the very first build night, an era which normally should take 45 minutes, if that, took us, what, almost 3 hours, Eddie?
3 hours, yeah. It was amazing because, I mean, we're not trying. I mean, we want to make sure anybody that's building can follow along, but, we want to make it to where it's just fun, shoot the breeze, ask some questions, get a plane built in the process, and, I cheated. I got the fuse done. I got the wing cut out. I'm, like, way ahead of Pat, but, like, I'm still... I just turned my glue gun on.
He says he's way ahead of me, but he was cutting out pieces at what, 6 o'clock today?
Yeah, 6 to 6:30, and he was scrambling to hurry up and get them cut out. So,
Patrick,
don't let him fool you. Yeah.
The flock of them.
That's right. It's a flock.
So, and I guess we're gonna take this opportunity too, since it's our build series, our build nights, guys. That again. If you are watching this, we are doing the build nights at Flight Fest itself. We're going to be doing Thursday night. Tommy is going to be building a tiny trainer, and on Friday night, I will be building an arrow with everybody. So,
Woo!
Yep. So if you guys are going to be there, it's actually a pretty nice setup the way Austin's got it. You buy the speed build kit, and that guarantees you a seat to actually build it.
It's like there's a registration. It's like $30 registration.
35.
Speed build kit with that. Well, 30. There's some online fee, but because there's a site that they go through. But so that gets you the speed build kit and lets you hang out with us. And who wouldn't want to do that?
No, I'd pay $35 just to hang out with Pat.
I would too.
I'd pay $35 to hang out with me too.
But yeah, your registration fee buys you the speed build kit, which guarantees you a seat at the build series.
I like that, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, you hadn't heard about that yet, Andre?
Well, I've been kind of busy.
Oh.
Yeah, I was literally giving Andre information while since he was rubbing elbows with light test.
Oh yeah.
Ditching us common folk. I mean, what?
Yeah. Did you like that video, guys?
It was very good.
Yes.
Andre, you did a great job. I really enjoyed it. The flight test episodes have been really fun lately, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? The ribbon one, that one had me in stitches.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And we literally planned that at the last minute. Like when I got there on Friday, Josh is like, "Let's do a video on Tuesday." And I'm like, "All right, sure." So I show up, and they're mowing. The guy is actually mowing the lawn for the first time in a year, and we're all looking at the clock, going, "Okay, Andre has to get out of here at a certain point because it's going to be a 10-hour drive home." So I think I booted out of flight test at like 2:30 in the afternoon or something crazy. So.
Spot, I see that you caught that comment from Rocky Boy too.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Andre.
I would make that stupid mistake once probably too.
yeah. So Rocky Boy says that white Gorilla Glue actually will seep into servos and lock them up.
Oh.
And there ain't no coming back from that.
Right.
Wow.
So maybe just use the hot glue on the servos.
Yeah, Rocky Boy, I haven't found anything other than that. Or if you really want to, foam tack works pretty decently too, I found.
Foam tack is amazing. I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very upset because this is all of the foam tack I have left.
Well, you can pick up more this summer.
Well, yeah, I'm going to get some more when I'm at Flight Fest because that's where I got this.
Yeah, no, that stuff is awesome. I rebuilt the Sky Mule with that. It's just superb foam glue.
Andre, you're not going to get really upset at me if I happen to steal your Tundra while you're at Flight Fest until the end of the trip, and then you can take it back home.
That's my baby. No way.
I'm going to just borrow it. I promise not to crash it on purpose.
I don't know if you probably didn't watch my update video today.
Are you going to let me fly the glider too?
I'll let anybody fly that glider. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in another receiver setup so I can move the modules around, and we're going to do tows and just let people experience gliding because it was just incredible. It was, I mean, I don't know if anybody watched the glider video, but you can hear my voice as we're just like, holy moly, as the Tundra is doing a full-on nose-up thing, and Chris and I were like, yeah, we should release right about now.
Yeah, you were a little nervous there, weren't you?
Yeah, it was, it was, but it's genuine, right? So it's just, we were having such a good time.
Honestly, it was cool to see, of course in the flight test video they edit it down because of time, and they have to.
Yeah.
But to see all your attempts and the success of, the level of success with each, and frankly, with all four of them, you had some level of success, but your first one and your last one were pretty darn good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The last one, it was up there and just hung, and if I had been flying better and the conditions, if we had flown earlier in the day when the heat was at its best, that thing would have stayed up forever, so.
Well, you guys had some lift because those cumulus clouds, those little puffball clouds, definitely indicated that. But it was funny, and I think I commented on it.
Whoa! What was that?
Lots of feedback. Somebody in a wind tunnel?
That just blew away.
I don't know if it was your second or third attempt, Andre, but my God, when obviously you were under a cloud, so that's cooler air probably, and it just looked like the glider got smacked to the ground. I mean, you definitely got some sinking air there. It was wild. Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think
I muted Eddie real quick. I think that was his.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, there was a couple, and we had a couple where the release and everything didn't go quite as planned, but no, I enjoyed it, and I cut it long, and I enjoyed showing the whole process. So definitely,
yeah, no, it was great. Dude, I think it's awesome you got to go out there and do what you did. That's fantastic, and it was cool seeing you on an episode.
Yeah, thank you. That was definitely a highlight. The only thing we were upset about is we failed to do our own podcast because it was just. We were trying to fix some equipment, and unfortunately, I made the tragic mistake of updating a laptop and broke some stuff. We fixed it, but by the time I fixed it, we were going flying. It was just it was too nice. The priority was flying. So,
which you were talking about the Tundra. I ordered some Tundra tires to go with my large combat, and didn't realize, oh my God, how big those suckers are.
You do the actual Tundra, the actual tires for the Tundra, or just Tundra style?
No. The actual Tundra from Hobby King.
All right, so about 6-inch tires.
Yeah, I did not realize they were that big.
What are you putting them on?
That my own design, scratch built large combat. That thing's got like a 56-inch wingspan.
And so, what are you gonna use the tires for? Just to knock people out of the air?
That was the consensus afterwards, but yeah, no, I'm It's a dual pusher, so I need something that's got height, and being able to take off on that grass is my big concern.
Exactly. And you know what? Those tires did great at Fury Field. Actually, Diane came whipping around when she was mowing. She says, "You guys want me to mow down a section for the runway?" I'm like, "Yeah." So, and that was fun. Actually, you'll giggle. So we had all three of them in the air, and at one point we realized we have 3 Tundras that are all green, and it was over the haze and everything. And at one point we all were like, who's leading? And we were coming in for landing, and it was like I mistook my plane for Chris's. Chris thought it was Wayne's, and Wayne. All three of us had made judgment call errors, and we're like, nope, wrong plane.
So in other words, it was just like the Radiant incident.
Oh
huh?
yes, it was just like the Radiant. Yeah. So we were. It was, but it was just the fly out there. Actually, I had my FR Sky failed while I was there.
What?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
Well, no, you know what it was? You know the exit button?
Yeah.
Okay, mine had been repaired previously. It had popped out. It had broken plastic, right? So I just hot glued it. Used my hot glue. And so I'm setting up. I just flown the EFX Racer, and Fury Field and the EFX Racer were just. I was shaking afterwards because there's so much space. So it's just I had the thing like opened right up, and like sustained blast down the field, right? And I come in and land, and I'm changing something, and I hit the exit button, and the remote it pops out of place, so I can't. The remote is stuck. I'm like, uh-oh. So I open it up, and I go and I glue it, and I'm doing all this stuff, and the hot glue isn't taking, so then we CA'd it, and I had to open it up and get some kicker in there, and the kicker glued the whole thing together. And the third time I opened up, and I broke the elevator cable.
Oof.
So the radio was down. So we repaired it. Like we went back to Wayne's place and we soldered it and fixed the joint. But I'm like, okay, writing my notes for Flight Fest, bring backup radio. So if I had had my 9X with me, I could have just simply taken my my module for my DSMX stuff, and I could have like flown the Pawnee or something. I kept going, but instead I spent the afternoon mucking around with that stuff. And so, Chris, we set up a backup radio, and I flew a couple other things, but it wasn't the same. I was having my own gear flying, and then yeah. But the Tundras performed awesome. Really fun thing was my Tundra is faster than the guys. For some crazy reason, my plane at half throttle would walk away from Chris and Wayne.
Yeah, it's probably because Stuart hopped it up for you before.
Yeah, because I had the first one.
Yeah, you probably got the special version.
Yeah, so it was funny because Chris and them were going, what are you? And we're all running the same battery packs, and I'm just mowing down the back straight. And then I think it was it Patrick? Was it you saying I got to work on my tail authority?
I don't know.
Someone was saying I got to work on that and mixing my rudder in and everything.
Oh,
Chris,
no, that wasn't me.
Chris,
I don't mix crap.
Chris and Wayne do all kinds of mixes, so I got to start flying it a little bit because I drag the tail through the corners, but then I come out of the corner and I would just beam back. But that footage coming off that thing, and Chris and we didn't think we were that close, and then when I went back and I cut the footage, that was close. There were a couple of really good rolls. Chris would come in and just duck underneath me, and there's one there where I don't know, we must have been within a foot of each other, so that would have been fun.
Nice. So Pat, we want to explain what you've done so far?
I cut myself. That's why I'm
Oh,
holding
wow.
it down. Hey, man.
Why'd you do
This is
that?
what I've been waiting for. I've been listening to the conversation.
Okay. Yep.
Do we bevel this edge?
No.
Wow.
I never do that.
Okay, cool.
Nope. I just
So,
leave
I'm
it. It
ready
would
to-
probably be better for the airfoil, but I mean, it's such a small wing and such a small airfoil. And to be honest, even on the big one, like when Flight Test did the V2 version of the Bloody Wonder, now you have blood on your plane. That is awesome. That's perfect now. It's ready for Flight Fest.
It's a bloody Baron.
No, so yeah, I do not bevel that back edge. And the Flight Test even said with the V2 Bloody Wonder that you don't even need to do it on that one either. And I've tried it both ways. It really doesn't make much of a difference at all. You can't even notice a difference.
So,
Cool.
Patrick,
Yes.
how did you cut
Patrick's
yourself?
making a Band-Aid.
I'm making a Band-Aid.
CA glue.
I was fiddling with the X-Acto knife as I was listening to the conversation.
And what have we learned?
Nothing.
Make a Band-Aid.
Learn how to make a Scotch tape paper towel Band-Aid.
That's right. Okay, so now I've got my bloody spar in, and I'm going to take my bloody wing, fold it over.
Patrick, did you glue the bloody spar in?
I
Yes,
did.
he did. He did.
All right.
Thank you. So I'm going to put a bead of glue here on the bottom of the spar, and then I'm going to put a bead of glue here at the rear of the bottom of the wing, and I'm going to fold it over, and then
Do the leading edge too.
Yeah, I was gonna say your double bevel.
Oh, through here.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. See, it's a good thing you guys are on here.
Sure.
See, I did everything, but I forgot to do the back, so now I've got to squeeze glue in there.
And that's doable, but for this small of a plane, it's easier if you just glue that all in one step.
Yeah, if you remember to do the backside, I'm like, why did that not
Right.
stick? I'm like,
Right.
oh, oops.
Hey, Pat, Ross said that your dog bit you after stabbing him, so all even.
I wouldn't blame him.
Or the dog has a voodoo doll. Said, you're down, buddy.
My dogs are awesome.
Did you bevel your hinges already?
Nope. I've got a different plan.
He's got a different plan.
I'm going to cut them off. And then
Okay. All
use
right.
packing tape for because
Tape hinge.
I don't trust the
Tape hinges work good. They're good.
No, I don't trust the paper. Just
Yep.
regular paper. And it probably would hold up better than the stock paper because I 3M77'd it.
Yep.
I'm just going to be more comfortable if I cut them off and then bevel them and then put them back on.
Tape hinge. Yep.
Now,
That
see,
works
like
too.
mine, just because at Flight Fest last year we all learned about the moisture with the dew on the ground in the mornings. I'm actually going to clear packing tape my entire thing after I put the skin on.
Yeah.
I am halfway done with my Thunderbird arrow using that the stuff that Joshua Orchard recommended, which is the Minwax
Poly.
sanding sealer professional grade.
Nice.
I put that on the bottom of my Thunderbird arrow already, and before I took that out and flew it, and it works great.
Mind you guys, I mean, my arrows have been through the winters and really survived. So, I don't know.
The see, most of the arrows, because I've got like 4 built. I love that arrow. I really do. I love wings anyway, but I ended up always taking and just putting a layer of clear packing tape on the bottom to help sort of keep them, you know, with them being belly landers. That way, it doesn't matter what kind of surface you're coming in, you're not really tearing it up.
No.
Yep.
Come out a little hotter.
All right. So, wing is done, except for the control surfaces, which I'll wait until I'm ready to do the tail and such.
I just love that it has blood on it already.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my planes do, in fact.
So if this one gets away from him and the FAA is called, we're doing DNA analysis.
It's right.
There is no FAA getting involved in this one. We are definitely way under the 200, unless you put like a 2200 on it, and I don't think it'll fly if you do.
Yeah.
Should be well under the 255.
And what is the recommended battery size for this plane?
I'd say you can fly anywhere from a 500 to 1,000, probably. 1,000 is going to be a
nice.
little on the heavy side.
Because
I fly.
my goal is the 1003S.
You can try it. It should carry it, but it's definitely it's going to be like flying the bigger one on a 2200.
I
get
fly my bloody wonder on a 2200.
Yep, I mean they fly a little bit better with smaller battery. The wing loading's lighter and they float a little bit more. But if you like flying fast and don't mind carrying the extra weight, I think you'll be fine. I've flown. I usually fly a 450, either a 2S or a 3S. Mostly a 2S on the
A 2S?
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I have 850 and 500 milliamp 2S
Those
that I
are
run
perfect.
on my my Twisted Hobby 540 Edge.
Mm-hmm.
It pretty much has unlimited vertical with a 1806. I think I have a 6.4 APC prop on mine. On a 2S, it's got unlimited vertical. Like when I was telling Andre before, if you're running 3S, hold on to the sticks.
Mhm.
It gets pretty ballistic.
Well, and before you joined us, I talked about what you had told everybody, Dan, which was the rates in the expos being at 50% to start with,
Yep.
and to not run a 2204 on this.
I would highly advise against it.
Yeah.
It torque rolls like a mother with a 2204.
Wow, that's funny. That's exactly what I said it was going to be.
Because, I'm thinking a 2204 with a 3-bladed prop. And you know what? I'm
Go
going to
for
do it just because
You should.
I'm going to do it.
Prove me wrong.
I'm going to do it purple, and I'm going to either put an orange or a green tri-bladed prop, and I'm thinking because I have some extras for from my 250 quad, so I'm thinking either a 6.5 or a 50-30.
You know what? On mine, I'm actually going with an 1806. I've got a BL Heli 18 amp ESC, and I'm actually going to throw some DAL tri-blades on just because I got a lot.
18 amp ESC.
Yeah, I know.
Overkill.
It is, but it's.
You
it's
could run
what
a
I
twin
had-
off of that.
It's what I had lying around, right? Give me a break. But yeah, then I've got all those DAL props for my 250 quad, so I'm gonna throw that on there.
I'll be right back.
Okay,
I'm
Ryan.
going to check something.
Ryan in the chat just said he's running a 2204 on his with a 2S500, and he said the torque roll's not that bad.
Ryan lies. He just says that because he wants me to crash. He doesn't want.
I think he actually has some flight video of his plane flying on YouTube,
Well,
so
And you know what?
you can check it out.
The difference between a 2S and 3S, the torque roll obviously wouldn't be as bad on a 2S, you know?
Right, right.
You know what was neat with the Arrow at Chad's place? I was able to open it up and actually extend my flight times by 2 minutes because I didn't have to run the throttle so hot through the turns and everything because I had so much space. So I landed, checked my battery, and I'm like, I got lots of time left. So, and that's what the 2204. I love how that thing sounds.
Arrow. Oh, I love it. I love it. You know what? And now, actually, I'm kind of hoping that since everybody's going to be doing so many Arrows this year, they're so popular. I'm really hoping they have a fixed wing FPV race with some gates that they get multi-GP to run that.
Yep, that'd be neat.
All
Throw in
right.
a couple. See what the Arrows could do. I can't wait to see what the big Arrow looks like when they're done.
Yeah.
Andre, have you ever flown this plane?
Which one's that?
This is the Hobby King Galaxy.
Oh yeah, no, I have not. It looks like it's got a lot of holes in it.
It's junk. I'm just gonna say. This thing. Let me look at the thickness of Depron in it.
Yeah, I have one, the click or something, and I didn't even assemble it.
Okay, so you see all the carbon fiber?
Yep.
Watch.
Doing, doing. Oh, it must make it a wicked sound.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. So, I was looking. I'm trying to see what size motor this is because I'm thinking I could use this on the Baron.
Yeah.
Because it's got a little Turnigy 10 amp ESC.
10 amps? Oh, jeez.
That's a bigger prop, though, too, right?
Yeah, I mean this is
What's
a.
the prop
Plane,
size on
right?
those?
Yeah, that was
That's an
designed to
8.4.
hang on its nose, right? Not go fast.
Right, so
This
it's going to
is
have a lot more torque.
This is an 8.4, but I mean it was just. I'm gonna look right now on Hobby King to see what I ordered.
God, that's amazing. I called that one right.
You called nothing right.
Yeah. So, all right, what are you doing, Pat?
I don't know.
Patrick, have you got the wing complete yet?
Dude, the wing's been complete.
Yeah,
What are you working?
He's working on the fuselage.
Working on fuse.
He's
Oh.
taking
So
the batteries out. He's opening up the openings for the
I cut the
servos.
4 lines, pulled out the foam, and about to make my B-fold. Now, I know I kind of messed up because I actually pulled out the foam that probably should have been on these tabs,
Yes, you did.
but I can cut little pieces and glue them in. That's no big deal.
Or you can just eyeball where the wing and the horizontal stabilizer needs to go.
First,
Is this are these 5 gram or 9 gram servos that go on this thing? Because I didn't look.
5. I think there are people that have built it with 9s, though.
So
Well,
I'm
thinking I've got because I'm basically just gonna rob this this plane because I'm never gonna fly it. So I'm gonna just go start stealing things out of it. But it's got a 5 and a 9 gram servo. That's why I asked.
Pat, you knocked your camera just a little bit, bud. Good Lord. So So, Dan, what? Because I know me and you were having problems with those 5 grams from Hobby King. What'd you end up going
Oh,
with?
the HXT 500s, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't in good nature recommend those at all.
Oh, they were. I thought they
Because
were
they have
horrible.
so many that don't recenter or get real twitchy, like right out of the box. So I'm using the Emax 4.5 gram servos, the same ones that Flight Test sells on the store. It's a really nice. It's a little bit more expensive. I think they're like $4.50 or something like that a piece. Which, I mean, yeah, they're a little bit more money, but I haven't had any problems with those.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to do my B folds on the fuselage. With my fancy. Oh, that's hot. Ow, damn.
Good.
Pat, you know we love you,
hot.
right?
Haku's hot.
Shocker! Stop the presses.
All right.
You know, Pat, I gotta say, it actually is a lot more fun sitting on this side of it and heckling people.
Isn't
Right.
it?
Right.
And you always wondered why I didn't really want to do a build. It had nothing to do with not wanting to build an airplane. It's way more fun over here.
Hey, I'm not here to show anybody how to do anything. I'm just here to hang out and build an airplane.
Exactly.
All right, that's good.
Works. Oh man. Hey, since
Hey,
we're
that's
talking about Flight Fest, wow, even Pilot 294 called you out and said, I believe that's why they call it hot glue.
Yeah, I knew that kid.
Did you do your C fold at all, Pat?
What?
Let's
Did you do the C
No.
the C fold?
You didn't do it.
Oh, you're funny.
What? What are you doing?
Yeah,
There's a C fold in the nose, in the front of that.
Oh, there is, Pat. Yeah, it's
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should do that first before you do the B folds.
You're talking about the same guy that said he isn't using the angle thrust on the standard pod. He's going to shim it himself.
Right.
I'm an independent
Okay,
thinker,
so-
So shim your.
hold on. What
Hold up,
Spawns
I
is
got
talking about? Let me
Yeah, on the plans you have right there, Pat, where it clearly shows the 2 score lines in the front. Well, not anymore.
he is referring to this piece right here.
So
This
for
is
those
where
of
you
you
fold.
following along at home,
Don't follow along.
do your C fold first. Thank you, Eddie.
You're welcome, sir. I paid attention. I read the instruction.
I did not.
And I did.
That's
Hey,
okay.
and Dan
Hey,
can vouch.
people-
I reached out to him a couple of times. I was like, "Hey, I just want to make sure I'm doing this right."
Yeah, I was at the soccer field watching the soccer game.
Oh.
I told you, I keeps it real.
So, I know that myself and Spawns are doing large-scale combat planes. Is anybody else doing anything combat-related this year?
Yes, I am, and I'm keeping it a secret
Oh,
because
that's
there's
great.
one person that says that they can't be beat, and I'm going to do my damnedest to knock him out of the sky.
Well, can you share that? Who's that?
I don't know. I don't even know who it is, but I heard that there's this guy that says I'm building this core class Bloody Baron, and nobody's going to be able to beat me. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to build a plane to beat it.
Yeah.
That's my goal, is just to knock that plane out of the sky
See, it
with my
sounds like
chainsaw motor.
it sounds like me because my
With the
only goal is to take out Julian and his Valkyrie. If
Everybody's gunning for the Valkyrie first, and then it's no holds barred.
yeah,
I'm building a Bloody Ripper. So,
Nice.
okay, Dan, I've got the floppy thing.
You've got the flop. You got your floppy thing. That sounds like
Oh,
another
okay.
show.
Does that fold under, I'm guessing?
This is not a
Yes.
Dr. Phil episode, sir. I'm
Do I
sorry,
have to
but we.
pull that piece of foam out?
yes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no, wait. No.
Wait. It's done.
There's a cavity in the middle. Is that what you're referring to?
Like that.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed
Yes, Patrick.
Is there another thickness of foam in there now yet?
What do you mean? There's the bottom and there's this.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
you
He's got
took a
it.
piece out.
I can see he took the cavity piece out.
Okay. Good. Yes. I couldn't tell because he whipped it up in front of the camera right away and then took it away.
Hey,
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
we're not talking about Patrick whipping anything right now.
His floppy thing. What do you mean?
No kidding.
We do not want to talk about
this
Patrick
is
whipping
PG-13.
floppy games. Okay,
So-
here we go.
So
should be
what
rated
servers
G.
did you end up going with on the intruder? Because you never answered me back about that.
I'm trying to get some MG14s from Hobby King, some Metal Gear. It's the same size as a 9-gram servo, but it's just Metal Gear.
I got those for my Sweet Wing.
Nice.
Yeah, they were hard to get.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I
I think they are actually in stock now in the U.S. West warehouse, but they've been on back order for months in the East warehouse. So I think I'm going to pull the trigger early next week and get some. But I got to order 10 of them, and it's going to be like $80 worth of servos. It's
That's
kind of
right, you'd mentioned that.
bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make Keegan pay for his stuff for some of this
Right.
stuff now that he has a
Okay.
job.
Yeah.
Responsibility.
Right.
Yes, I did check. This motor's a 2204 1700 kV.
Oh, that should be okay.
It's actually says 2 to 3S, 350 to 1000.
I'd keep the prop down a little bit so you can try to
Well,
mitigate
I'm
the
thinking-
torque a little bit.
I'm thinking like I said, either a 645 or a 5030.
I think I would go with the 6.4. Would be fine with that. If it's normally that 1700 kV is swinging an 8-inch prop right now,
Yeah.
you'd be fine with the 6.4.
Okay. Yeah, and then because like I said, this plane sucks. It really does. Every time I fly it, I break it.
Keegan, is that a Hobby King?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
like I said, it is the Hobby King Galaxy. It's a cool plane. It's great indoor plane.
Yeah.
But like I said, every time you touch one of these little carbon fiber
Yeah.
rods, they break. And I mean,
Keegan
It
has the Tristania, which is real similar to that, and it's also from Hobby King. And same thing. Every time he flew it, he broke it.
I mean, it's cool. I wish I would have known what I was buying when I bought this, because with it being a Depron plane, I should have been like, no. But
Is
I
it
didn't know what I was
Depron
doing.
or APP?
Yeah, this one's Depron, which is
Oh,
why, it literally breaks every time you touch it.
Now, his is EPP, but he still managed to break his a lot.
Yeah. But it's got a Hextronic 500 and a 9-gram, 2 9-grams in it. And it flies really, really well. I've never had... No, it's got 2 500s and a 900 in it.
Hey,
Never... Yes.
pull Eddie up so he can keep talking. I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right, buddy. I will make this myself the presenter. So, as I said, this is the plane that I was talking about, the Hobby King Galaxy. 3D plane.
Yeah, that's very similar to the Tristania.
And like I said, it's just a 2204 1700 kV, with the Eternity 10 amp ESC on it. And I think a 10 amp would be more than enough for, especially if, like I said, if I can run 2-cell or up to 3-cell 1000 milliamp, I think that would be perfect for this. And I've got plenty of the 6-inch props to go with.
It's worth a shot.
What's the worst that happen? I burn up an ESC or a motor?
Or pile your baby bear into the ground and destroy it.
Like, honestly, how many do you think are going to survive after Flight Fest?
Oh, God, no.
Like, I debated min waxing this, but I'm like, I'm going to, just because I'm going to paint it purple.
See, and
I thought you had to build Wendy a purple plane, and you were building
This is
your
the
own.
one I'm building.
Yeah?
I'm not. You think she's going to fly it? Hey, Wendy, you going to fly in the gaggle? Hey, come on in here, honey.
I heard
make
that
Eddie
hell
a
no
sandwich.
all over here. Yeah.
Dan Spons says, make me a sandwich, woman.
I said she should make you a sandwich.
That's what I said. Make me a
Oh.
sandwich.
Okay.
Ow.
I
Hey.
heard that hell no all the way from the living room.
Right. But yeah, that's cool. Like I said, I like this plane. I thought it was really cool when I bought it because it looks really good. It flies. When it flies, it's amazing because you can literally just turn it nose down and chop the throttle, and it just falls gently like a feather. but it just
Every time it comes back in contact with the ground, it falls apart.
the ground, the car, your hand, the air. I mean, anything that might put any kind of drag on it, yeah, it's gonna break.
What are you building over there, Andre? Or rebuilding, I should say.
It's a duck.
I hear
Nah,
him.
That's a
stop with the
quad.
duck.
Uh-oh. Andre is now going to be presenting. Oh, you know what? You never did answer my message earlier. So now that you're on live TV, we're going to ask that question.
All right. So what did I learn? Okay, so
We're on live TV. Wait, stop
Yes.
the presses.
one of the multiple awesome experiences. So we were at Chad Capper's place, and I mean we shot all day, but I flew one of the aliens tuned by Chad Nowak, and from Rotor Riot, and honestly, what an experience! That thing. Chad almost was upset that he didn't shoot my reaction because I had never flown something so smooth and yet so with so much speed and velocity. It was just incredible. And he's like, "Do a roll," and I just sat there. Woof. I'm like, "Oh, that was cool." Next thing you know, I'm doing I'm spiraling a quad through the air, and just. It didn't feel like I was flying a quad that I knew. I mean, you know, these handle okay. This is a whole other level of amazing. Like, now I know, you know, when they're diving through the air and falling, it's because the craft has got such presence and such control, and it was just amazing to just see what they can do and how much control and precision these little guys have. So, a couple things I picked up on while looking at the actual quad was things like they put little he's got foam on the bottom feet now instead of so the screws don't catch anything, and all the ESCs had little pieces of foam underneath them just for insulation between the carbon fiber. So they're actually dampening the ESC and protecting it from the carbon fiber, and then things like electrical tape versus tie wraps and stuff. And the one thing I really noticed was they're using fuel tubing between the power pod, the power board, and the flight controller, so that's kind of handy. So I just
that was
figured
something I watched them do when they did when Chad Norak did the build for the alien.
Yeah.
He covered a lot of that.
I gotta put this up. I'm sorry. Watch. Szechuan beef, everyone.
So much. So this build. This is why you have 3-hour build videos.
Yeah, we stopped to have
About to have lunch. There's this monster too.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me pull you back up. There you go.
This thing is a tank. I see Dan.
Hello.
No, I got you. I'm presenting.
Oh, okay. So this is the Versacopter. This thing is an absolute tank, and I was having a riot flying this around the back of Wayne's house. Like, Wayne, we're sitting on the front porch, and I was able to go all around his property and in back of his house and around his shed and everything. So at one point I hear someone trimming trees in the backyard, and I'm going by and I'm clipping leaves. Like, the entire weekend, I don't even know. The entire weekend I blew only 2 props flying this thing, and we were.
What are you running on that one?
What do you want?
Motors.
Power?
What motors?
Motors? Those are the
2204.
Emacs. Those are 2204s. This is basically almost a stock flight testing. I am running a Naze 32 revision 5 because that's what I had.
Right.
Sky and just a little video transmitter setup, which I'm going to improve because right now it's kind of like just hanging there. But I was flying with it and having a good time. I was actually happy because this has got my left-hand polarized stuff on it, so I wasn't getting as much interference. But after flying the Alien, I kind of sat there and I'm like, I can't fly this thing. It's not tuned enough for me to enjoy it. And we were actually chasing everybody around the track at Chad's, and I ended up having to land because I'm like, I'm getting vertigo just trying to fly this thing. It's kicking around the track sideways. And I'm like, I haven't even put the flight test settings into it yet, and I do want to go 4S on this one because I know it can take the power. This guy I'll just fly 3S because I don't think the FPV can do it. But that's another issue that I've noticed. When you start doing that jump to 4S, all of a sudden you need to think about the FPV equipment, right? Because a lot of it's just not designed to take 4S. So it's like, now I gotta put in that board, I gotta figure out that. But
There's Andre, this little speed control or this little power distribution board.
Yeah.
If you want to prop this up.
Yeah, give me a second.
And this is one I actually burned up. I had one of my flight test ESCs failed.
Look at that. Nice hole, man.
Well, yeah, that one failed. So I'm actually going to make this a tricopter ESC or power distribution board. But this is $4 and some change. But what you'll see is it steps down to everything.
Yeah, that is something I will be looking at.
And like I said, from Hobby King, it's like $4 and some change. I just ordered a couple of these.
Cool. And this is the other beast that I've been flying around with.
I'm so jealous of that.
And so I don't know if anybody listened to the After Hours podcast. I actually missed my first one in a long time because I was out camping with the Cub Scouts, but I couldn't fly the mini tricopter. It was just so loose, and actually I was flying with Chris's head plays, and we discovered I cannot fly with head plays. I just can't handle the single vision the display. I couldn't do it. And I'm flying the tricopter, and I'm all over the place. So I'm like, then I get back into my quads, and I'm like, no, I can fly just fine. I get into the big tricopter, I can fly just fine. So it's just it was that goggle setup. So
what board are you running on your tricopter?
That is the F1. So that's the stock board from David. I know he just came out with the F3, so we'll see about getting an upgrade. So.
Yeah, and you run the one with the integrated Nites 32?
Yeah. So hold on here. Oof. Oh, you won't be able to see it because it's all it is soldered in there. I've got photos, and the whole build process is kind of crazy because you're building everything and it's kind of sandwiches in. But once it's designed and up, and I took off and I clipped the tree when I went up. The back of it clipped it, and the whole thing came down. Like you can see I've got to actually pull the pod out. For the underbelly and straighten all these out because they took a hit. It came down hard, but it's fine. So it'll be up flying again very soon, and we're gonna just do some work with the FPV equipment and everything. So it's it'll get there. It's definitely a nice piece of kit, and compared to the old one, this thing is like so light, and I'm running it on 4S. So I'm looking forward to just getting it stabilized, and I'm just gonna open it up and have a good time chasing the guys. But
are you running 2200 4S?
Yeah, I've got some 2650s actually. I've got 2200s and 2650s. David suggested I look at some 3700s, but I just I couldn't afford the punch at that time. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah.
Andre.
Hello.
Ryan asked on the chat if you could send him your names file for that.
For the tricopter?
Yeah, because he's evidently having some issues on David's board.
Okay. Yeah, I'll download it and pop it over. I just used, what did I use? I used the TriFlight. I flashed it over and used TriFlight. So, and I didn't go any further. But what David sent me was he sent me his specs for his PIs and everything. He sent me that for the tail setup, and I haven't gone beyond. Like this guy, I didn't even load the flight test thing. This one I didn't take with me, but it's basic. But I've been flying that around pretty good. So. And it's considerably lighter. All the kit on the little guy here is everything from my HMB project. So I just moved everything off the frame, and it gave me an excuse to actually get and go crazy on the wiring and everything. So.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of your. And I got the same way. I started watching the Alien build.
Yeah.
And I looked at my quad, and I'm like, this is the nastiest pile of wire. Because I literally. Hold on, let me go grab it.
Hey. Is anyone still watching this?
Eating their dinner?
Yeah, he's
No.
eating his dinner.
I saw that for about 30 seconds and I flipped it off.
It's really good.
Actually, all I gotta say about you having that very nice tricopter is this, Andre.
So, as I watched the Alien build and I saw how clean that build went together, and then I looked at my quad, and I looked at that, and I said, "This is the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen in my life."
It's like a drunk Italian threw up on your quad.
It really is, and I was like, "This is horrible. I'm so ashamed to even have this in my house." I'm like, "This is terrible." But that was my first 250 quad, like really true 250 from the ground up quad build.
Yeah.
Oh, should I make everybody jealous, Eddie?
No. So, meanwhile, back at the ranch, while we're waiting on Patrick.
All right, I'm good.
Patrick, have you done the tail feathers?
What?
Have you assembled the tail feathers yet?
No.
Back to
Okay.
our regularly scheduled program.
All
I'm
right.
working on fuselage
Fuselage to the wing.
and finishing off my egg roll.
Looks like this.
What? No Lucky Charm? No, fortune cookie?
No fortune cookie Lucky Charms?
Yeah.
I left that upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Andre, you want to see what I picked up today? That
Show me.
QAV 250 2204 Emaxes. It's got an XR8 FR Sky that I'm sending to Dan because I fly Spectrum.
And because Ben's awesome.
Naze 32, and it's got the Sony CCD 600 TVL.
Nice.
And it's just the Boscam TS 5828. $100, buddy. $100.
Nice. You know what I need now is my next big funding push will be for batteries, because I've only got like 4 3S1300s, and you'd be amazed how fast you run through those things.
Do you know something and you know what, Andre, since you know some Hobby King people, throw a fit, man. I was using the Zippy, and I know everybody hates the Zippies, but the 1300 40C discharge 3 cells were great for my little quad.
Yeah.
They stopped making them. They went to a 1500.
Yeah.
You know what? My wife and daughter are awesome, so I got an early Father's Day gift, and that would be 7 4S 1300 Nanotech 45 to 90 Cs.
Beautiful.
So,
No.
so I like what they got me. What'd they get you?
Yeah, no, those are nice, and I've been impressed. Yeah, the Nanotechs, I've been running those, and I love my 3S1300s for the Aero, my 3S with the cage. Those batteries are just superb in that airplane. I could sit there, just crank the thing wide open, and it does nothing. The packs are like, yeah, bring it. So.
Well, you had posted that link to the 130, the 90 to 130 Cs, the 4S 1300s, and it, to me, I just couldn't justify. I'm just breaking into the whole 250 quad racer, and I couldn't justify jumping $10 a battery.
Yeah.
Just to go for that extra C rating. So.
Yeah, and that's why I wasn't even looking at the.
Go ahead, Pat. You're presented.
Woohoo! Go, Pat.
Go ahead, Andre.
No, I'd like to get some. I'd love to try some graphene ones, and they seem really nice, especially the fact they've got, if your battery is on top and exposed. But the Nanotechs have really done well, and of course I love the A specs. I fly with the my big ones, but it's one of those things, as as I go on, the Zippy compacts work well with the scratch builds, but I find they're not really desirable for the the lower C rating ones, at least, which I have a ton of, are not really desirable in those high output pieces. So.
Well, when you're looking at something with only a 30C rating, you know what I mean? Because I've got a bunch of them Zippy compacts as well.
Yeah.
And it's something with a 30C rating, when you're really trying to push it, it's not enough oomph.
But I mean, on the scratch builds, the flight test planes, those Zippy, the 2200s with the 25C or whatever, they're gold. They're absolutely perfect for that setup. I mean, I'm in my 3rd year of flying, and I fly a lot harder now. So I do they tend to get a little warm, but I mean, that's with that my FT racer. I mean, I'm inches off the deck at full speed, giggling the entire time.
So Pat, doublers.
Yeah, I just glued the doublers in place. I'm going to have to trim them back a little, but that's no big deal. So I assume they're flush with the front of the outer fuselage, Dan.
What? I wasn't paying attention.
The doublers, do they sit flush with the entire frame inside?
Yep.
And
Yep. They just kind of lock in around that C-fold that you put in there.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I just have to trim them up a little bit in front because they stick a little bit out further, just a tiny bit.
They shouldn't. So just trim them off. Yeah.
Exactly. I got a little Chinese food on my fuselage.
You know what? I didn't hear that.
It's something about Chinese food.
Oh. He's got some Chinese food on his fuselage. Yeah. Some blood and some Chinese food. Perfect.
Wait, so he's playing the Asian campaign?
I'm gonna have to design a Baby Zero next.
Yes. Oh dear.
That'd be Japanese though.
I could put some sushi on it.
There you go.
Oh my god. I had the best sushi yesterday. It was so good.
You guys are not kidding about Pat never finishing a build.
And now
Look.
Pat, or
Look.
now Ben, you understand why I said Pat doing the build would be hilarious.
Hang on. I got to put myself on camera here.
You're on. I'm watching you.
Okay, so I've caught up with you, Pat, but I'm a little bit ahead because I went ahead and mounted my wings.
Oh, there's Pat. Look at Pat.
Oh, look at that
All right,
beautiful
look.
face.
Here we go.
And this one time in Pat camp,
I'm giving you the most bang for your buck, which you didn't pay anything for. This is an evening of entertainment. Look, I've cut myself. I've made my own Band-Aid.
Bravo.
I'm having Chinese food for dinner, and it's delicious.
And everybody's watching you eat it.
Yeah.
I had pizza and nobody saw it.
I'm building an airplane,
And you've got food and blood on it.
and this Penn Brewery Oktoberfest was beer that I got free from the grocery store.
That explains a lot. He's drinking free beer.
Free beer
Yeah.
right here. They said,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of out of date.
Out of a guy's van behind the grocery store.
And this is the first one. There's another kind I got to go back upstairs and get. But it's
Don't you
very
have your
good.
dogs trained to get you beer?
That's an idea.
That's what happens when he stabbed.
Now
That's
he's
why
thinking.
now the dog. Now we understand why the dog got stabbed.
Right. He
wouldn't
didn't get
bring
my
him a beer.
You didn't bring me a beer.
Patrick, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Because I've seen you do a lot, but the one thing that I haven't seen you do is the same thing that I realized I haven't done. Have you made the holes for the barbecue skewers to hold the power pod?
That's ridiculous. No. No, I have not.
Okay.
But there's
just-
these little black dots. Oh, wait, I'm over here now.
Yeah, whoever designed that.
That work really well.
Put those on there.
I did. Okay, so Eddie got in a hurry, and look what he didn't do.
He didn't put the dots in.
Yeah,
Can
he's
you hold your template up to it and just poke some holes in it?
Shh.
I got I got a parking ticket today.
He got a speeding parking ticket.
I was parking too fast. Well, let's get caught up on the chat here.
The chat is
I'm
caught
on
up.
the edge of my seat.
Forearm.
Oh, apparently I'm gonna. Oh, look at that! Yeah, thank you.
Ow.
I was about to give myself a double vasectomy there.
Well, you know, if that is that what your wife requires, then you know, see what you need to do, brother.
Alpha, your voice sounds funny. Anyway, so Dan spawns holes.
Yeah, that's my new name now. Thanks.
So, and how do we pronounce that? Could we get the Urban Dictionary?
Holes.
Can we get
Not
the Urban
spawns.
Dictionary?
You know what? Spawns is fine. Just that's good.
Spawns holes. That's Patrick's version,
Right.
which we've decided is completely wrong.
That looks pretty.
Thank you. So basically, the next step is to glue this thing into this thing, and then to glue this thing onto this thing. Correct?
No, wait, Pat. Let me see your tail. Let me see what would be your rudder if you had one.
Pat, don't show him your tail.
That's the wrong one. You got to show him the other one because look, mine's already round. You got to show him the other one.
What other one?
What is he talking
Okay,
about?
you built a Baron. You're supposed to build a Brit.
He's building a Baron.
I'm building a Baron, bro. You see
I know
the
you're supposed to
iron
build a
right
Brit.
there?
The whole show was wrong? Start over.
Ben is about to piss himself right now, and that's what's so great about it.
No. If you're building a Brit, great. You do the same thing, except your tail's a little bit different, and
Right.
a little
And we will cover the tail in a few minutes after I cut one out to show you the difference.
because I ain't got the plans for that, bruh.
The
I
assembly
do.
is pretty much exactly the same. So
That's
Yes.
what I do. Yeah. Y'all can work it out. Y'all are smart.
I got you, bro. But I had to do it just because I was
Make
like,
me laugh, Eddie.
Ben is like, you know what? I'm never not building another plane. I am going to do them all because this is bullshit.
I told you.
You know
I'm
what?
not coming on here to teach anybody to do anything. I'm coming on here to hang out, eat some Chinese food, drink some beer, and build an airplane.
Pat, I broke
I'm
it
fine with
again.
it. I'm
You
fine.
did it,
I'm
bro.
fine.
It's empty.
Hey,
You gotta
You know,
fix that.
we're up to 14 viewers, so.
Woo! Rah, rah, rah.
It's really not that they want to watch the build. They want to watch Pat and I get drunk. While Pat drinks beer, I will drink some nice wine.
Switch warning.
And, Andre, what are you drinking tonight, buddy?
I don't know.
Did you say Krapikin?
Yep. What am I looking for? Plane. I'm looking for an airplane.
You can't drink an airplane, sir. I'm sorry.
What one was this
All right.
under?
So let me go back to my build here.
wait, what? We're doing a build?
I'm having dinner.
We've
So I'm
all
going to
seen
take
that.
this, and I'm going to glue it onto this. There
Patrick,
are
what are
That's
you
one way to
doing
do it.
what are you going to do to keep that square so because it's not a rudder and there will be no trimming on that, what are you going to do to make sure that it's square, sir?
What do you mean by square?
Square,
When you mount it to the
perpendicular.
tail, when
He
you mount it to the
means
aileron, yeah.
Pat
are you
is,
gonna do to
as,
square
a,
that
as
up?
a science teacher, let's use
Yeah,
proper
he's
terminology.
no, we're not.
Perpendicular.
What are you going to do to make sure that the fake rudder is
It's a vertical
exactly-
stabilizer.
Fake, isn't it?
Do you have a square?
Do you have a square?
The true answer? I would eyeball it.
Okay, you know what? And that's
Or-
what I wanted to hear.
Or you can use a square.
Square.
Or you can use that ruler that's right there by your left hand. You
It's
set it on the
Do
edge.
that.
Yes. Or what,
No,
as Ben
Pat.
is saying, Ben presents to me for a minute.
Hold on, stand by.
Patrick.
There you go.
You can take a ruler and set it like this, and that will
Don't
make
bother
it
me, I'm
square.
eyeballing my rudder.
It's a vertical stabilizer, but whatever.
The vertical stabilizer, aka fake rudder. If you put a ruler like that, you can make sure that it is square before when you're gluing it, so you don't get it all.
Or even a
Wonky.
square piece of foam board.
Yes. Or a square
Okay.
piece of foam board if you have one.
So, are you cutting your elevator off of there again and tape hinging it?
Oh my god, it's square. And
You
I
eyeballed it square? That's
Nice, Andre. I like those.
Hell yeah, I did. Woo!
Good job, Patrick. Where are you going with that?
All right, so now that that's in there nice and square, thank you, Ross. You're my kind of guy.
Switch warning.
Now,
Yeah, turn it down.
the next step is going to be, and Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, gluing the tail to the fuselage.
I typically glue the wing on first and then put the
So I'm wrong.
tail feathers on. No,
You know,
there is no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
No.
no, Patrick. Hold on, Patrick. I did it like Dan said, and I put the wing on first. And what I found is my little overlap here on my wing.
Mhm.
Actually, when I put the glue on the tailpiece, it caused me a little problem. So I personally would put the tail feathers on first. That's just me.
Oh, there you go.
Got you. Okay, so here's the deal, though. What I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to cut off the elevator, because I'm going to use packing tape for the hinge.
Okay.
So,
I would have done that before I
Before
glued
you
the
did
vertical
that.
stabilizer on.
but you guys are putting me under pressure to hurry up.
No, I was trying to ask you that before you were doing it, and you were just ignoring me. So I just let you do
So
it.
as Patrick does that, this is what the speed build / plans will do. You'll bevel this edge here, and then you will have your pretty little elevator. And what I will
you could do it that way.
what
I
I will
typically
do,
have the bevel on the bottom.
well, it just happened. I followed your plans wrong. But what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of glue, and I'll put a little bit of hot glue in here, and then I will take a piece of foam board and not drop it, and then I will run it through the hinge itself a couple of times, and I'll make sure that it's embedded in the foam and not anything extra. And then that way I have a nice hinge. I like to do, and honestly, and this is just me, I'm not so much as far as how pretty it looks from the top or the bottom. And I know it's all about aesthetics for a lot of people. My thought process to putting the bevel on the top is because it's, especially with a belly lander, I'll put a piece of tape on the bottom here, so I don't have anything like a little lip to catch. And I fly in some pretty rough grass, so it's just, for me, it's
I
better.
haven't flown in rough grass until you've flown in the park that's near Ryan's house.
Well, that's possible. But that's how I do it. Everybody has their own way of doing it, and there's not a wrong way to do it.
Correct.
Boom. Done.
We
Boom.
need to change the podcast name to Monty Python Takes on RC. I love it.
That makes me proud.
Wait a minute, where are my coconuts? I can't get to work without my coconuts.
A North American swallow or an African?
European.
European?
You fail.
You said European.
Wait, what? What jewelry? Oh, please.
All right. I am going to help myself to another refreshment, so I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Yeah, Wendy's over here is a big spender. She spent $4 on jewelry.
That's crazy.
So now Eddie doesn't have to.
That's right. Now I'm done for the next year.
Well, your ass.
Ow, language.
Perfect, Wendy.
Language. Watch. Let me play Captain America for a second. Language.
He said a bad language word.
But yeah.
So, you know, I just want to say to folks out there, in partial seriousness.
Partial seriousness? I got
In all partial seriousness.
In all partial seriousness, you know, there are directions on a build, and that's, you know, that's probably a good way to go about it. But if you find yourself in the midst of a mistake, don't freak out. Just solve the problem yourself.
Chinese food and drink some beer and carry on.
Well, and if you have foam board laying around like this, you know, this whole plane came out of this one solid sheet. So look at all the extra I got. I could do a lot with that.
Right.
Uh-huh.
There's
Pat,
many things I could fix with that.
Pat, did you cut the tabs off the fuselage already? You did, right? You cut the tabs off? Yeah.
What do you mean by cut them off?
Oh, I thought you said you cut them off.
I didn't cut them off. I just didn't foam in place.
Eddie kind of
So you
cut
cut
them
the
off.
tabs off.
And you know what Eddie did? Eddie was smart. I went and I started looking at all the extra pieces of foam I had left, and I made tabs and glued them on.
That's what Patrick is going to do.
Okay. So my point in saying that was you don't need to cut those slots out if you don't have the tabs on the fuselage. But if you're going to put them back on, then by all
The whole
means.
reason I went into that whole thing about, you know, if you screw up, follow plans. Just, plan B, man. Come up with your own solution. That's what I'm doing.
And you're rocking it.
Like a rock star.
Party like a rock star.
Just don't rock out with said appendage out.
What?
Who?
Don't rock out with said appendage out.
Oh, don't rock out with your rhyme out. Okay. Yeah, this would be a bad camera angle for that.
Oh, God.
Whoa!
Now we go back into Pat not wearing pants episode.
Honey, you seen my pants?
That's not a conversation.
Everything is awesome.
Okay.
Oh. That's weird.
Ow.
My tabs aren't lining up.
Patrick,
You're not doing it right.
What?
you're doing it wrong.
Okay, now it is. I fixed it.
No, I don't like that.
What don't you like, Andre?
The power is not in a good spot. I'm fussy. This is zip tie. It's gone.
Hey, Patrick.
Nobody
Yo.
can see what you're doing.
That's okay. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Whoa!
Can you party like a rock star? What is that, Andre?
Oh, just a bag of 1,000 zip ties. Home Depot. Perfect zip ties, man. Yep.
I actually
1,000.
I need to get some very small zip ties. I actually lost one of my landing gear off my tricopter the other day. It was very upsetting. I didn't realize that it had broken off in a hard landing.
Yeah.
Out in the middle of the field, and I picked it up, and I'm like, oh, cool, nothing's broken. And then I walked all the way back to my truck, and then I set it on the ground, and I'm like, wait.
I'm missing a piece, yeah.
So, needless to say, I was not going to make that long trek all the way back. So, it was a sad day for my landing gear.
Yeah, the David's tricopter, I keep coming up with new ways to try and secure that gear because I keep knocking those off. So now I'm up to mega size zip ties. I like what I did with my old wood one, the V2, which was I went to the dollar store and I bought some door hangers. That worked out really well.
Yeah, I think the best option is going to be to mount something on the bottom of the boom itself, where you have the boom as extra.
Yeah.
But something with some spring in it, because that way you don't snap the boom off.
Well, I was thinking like some 3D, like the carbon fiber ones are awesome, but I think a 3D style, something with a 3D print it where it's hollow and you slide it over top of the boom, or it's got a cup that sits into the boom rather than just a vertical piece, so you can actually get some zip tie. Because it's nice that they shear off, but what I ended up doing was running, where is it? An extra big zip tie. So even if I shear off the small ones, at least I'm holding on to the leg.
Right.
So, and actually, the guys did the review, and they liked what they also liked about mine setup was the colored mesh over the wires into the boom.
Yes.
I like that one because they could actually see. Because a tricopter, you kind of get there and go, "What's the orientation?" As this thing is spinning around in front of yourself.
Well, and that's one of the things that I did is I actually run a LED light strip.
Yeah.
On the front from left and right motors, so it's like a bar of light, and I try to do green because green seems to show up really well in the day or night.
Yes.
The only problem is if you run 4S, then you can't run those.
Run the greens until you put in one of your modules.
Unless Hobby King is now selling
4S
compatible red green blues that I'm running on my these little boogers. These little guys, and they're very, very bright, and they do absolutely the same job.
Beautiful.
and they're I think $2.50 a piece. I mean, they're not huge, but they are very bright, and you can adjust whatever color you want.
Oh, nice.
What is flashing on the bottom of your radio?
Oh, it's my. That's my Orange RX module.
Oh, I was like, there's something green flashing on your desk.
Yeah.
And I know it's not fire.
Yeah. No, I try and avoid fire.
Patrick, how you coming?
I'm coming good, man. I'm just gluing in these little extra tabs here, you know, the stuff that I cut off.
Right.
So-
Dan, is there an easy way to do that? Because I ran into that too. I actually thought I did it wrong.
Cutting
when
the tabs.
When I made the tabs. Because I followed the instructions, but when I tried to do the fold, the tabs were in the way.
So there's like a little extra cutout on the top of the tabs, so that when you like fold them through the fuselage, there's enough clearance for them to pop through.
Okay, so
And that should be on the plans.
that little bitty, what is it?
Yeah, it's a little sliver on the top of the tab.
But when I peeled the foam out of that of those two score cuts, those tabs came out with it.
Then you did it wrong.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I had plenty left, but that was one of the things that I struggled with is when I did it, it just didn't lay right, and I couldn't figure out what I had done wrong, and then.
Okay. And you could actually even make those tabs even a little bit longer if you wanted to. It's not going to hurt anything. Well, the middle one, actually, the front ones for the wing you could, but not. I guess the back ones you couldn't because they would poke up through the horizontal stabilizer if you did that.
Yeah, but you could even if they did, you could clean that
trim
up.
them off. Yep.
Because I mean, mine's not pretty by any means, but it is absolutely 100% functional. And now that I've actually seen it, I'm going to absolutely and I'm going to try to clean up the ailerons and make them pretty and do it like it's supposed to be. But you know, this is my first scratch build, and I'm not gonna lie, and probably since before Flight Fest last year, I got really spoiled. Like in
Now, Andre, that wouldn't be flying indoors because that would be unsafe, right?
As he mutes his mic.
What a that's nuts.
Hey Andre, can you send me that? I'll test fly it for you. Just fly it down here. You got enough battery for that?
Yeah, that'd be quite the FPV run.
And out comes the tongue.
I'm trying not to clip the wire of the camera.
You know how you can prevent from doing that really easily? Don't fly your quad in the basement.
I test all my devices inside. All right, worked out. Yeah. There's no wind.
So Andre, what did you? I know you tested the Alien. So what did you think about the Flyduino flight controller and ESCs?
Which were the ones that were inside the Alien?
Yeah.
Well, they were the KISS.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's Flyduino.
Yeah, and well, I mean, come on, the thing.
I ask only because I broke down and Wendy allowed me. I love you, Wendy. To buy 4 24 amp or 24 amp KISS ESCs and the Flyduino flight controller.
Dude, you're gonna have so much. Okay, my first description when the thing was just floating there, I was like, I feel like I'm flying an airship. Honestly, it was so just like it just sat there, and I kind of like looked around and went, I could use this thing as an AP platform. And in fact, when it started darker, I fired up the Pawnee and I flew 7 or 8 packs through the Pawnee because Chad was like, "This is fantastic! I can just," and he's following me. He says, "Just yell out when you're making your turns," because he wanted to practice, getting beside me and stuff like this and tracing behind me because the thing is just this big glowing ball in the sky, right? And so I mean, but when I was flying it, it was so smooth and so linear. So.
Well, and I just wonder if it is. I mean, I know that KISS makes a damn good product.
Yeah.
I know that they've had a lot of issues, like with the AT amp ESCs, randomly exploding into flames mid-flight. Yeah, we all know about them. And I will give Asbjorn a lot of props on that because he and I discussed that thoroughly because that was one of my fears. I mean, that's a $24 ESC.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not hurting for money, but I just don't have $100 to throw away.
No.
Just for an ESC, just to say, hey, wow, that's. So, and he was like, the 24 amps don't have that problem. So it's good to see somebody who has equal flight talent like me. You've seen my flight videos; they suck.
Not much.
But I just want to. I really look forward to jumping into that over the cheap stuff that I've been flying.
Yes, I will be making a very serious decision in the fall whether I look at an AP platform or I look at something like this because I was so impressed. I was just like, I know that the guys who spent hours and hours and hours doing their tuning and dialing in and playing with these things and really coming to terms with the technology, but to fly something that it was. Like I said, I was gobsmacked at just how well the craft performed. It was just I'd never experienced that before. So it was really neat, and it's just sitting there, and it's perfectly level, it's perfectly clean. I can turn it and dip it and everything, but I'm like, I could track an aircraft, and I could keep up with an aircraft with something like this, and just follow along, and okay, you go fly, and you go, and I'm right on your tail. I'm on your 6 the entire time, and you wouldn't know that I'm flying in a quad. It's that, but then I can spin it around and get in front of you and go backwards, So it's from
right,
an
and
platform.
That's awesome.
Incredible. And they would pop it up, and the little thing in the wind, it was, and the power and efficiency because of the frame. A lot of credit goes into that alien frame, I think, as well as what Chad was telling me, because that thing seems to handle the wind, and it was almost a joy to fly it through the wind because it kind of just And I guess the ESC technologies, when you dump it down to zero now, the motors technically are not at zero. It's not like
you're an idle, right?
You're not at exactly, and they will sit there, and the craft will adjust the speeds accordingly, and that's where that braking technology has really come on. So if you're coming in a descent, it's actually it's not a descent like we remember, when the things are coming down all crazy. It's a controlled descent now. So. And the guys will actually, Chad was telling us that the guys will actually drive it in even harder now because they know they can pull out. So it's just phenomenal. So, I mean, I don't think I'll ever fly at that level and everything, but just to have the confidence in the craft and that extra little bit. But of course, it's the next step and everything, right? So it's like, okay, you're doing this. Well, all of a sudden, Eddie, you're going to be going, I really do need those 65C batteries now. So you're gonna, well, this is it. You're jumping into that. We all do that. We go in those incremental jumps, and then you're gonna go, I want my FPV to be even better than it is now. So, yeah.
Well, and I've got the immersion 600 milliwatt transmitter.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
That I've been running on my Bixler, and I've got a FPV Raptor with the whole Eagle Tree setup. So I've been flying with it on planes, and I'm like, and then I'm hearing Chad Norrick say, oh yeah, this is the perfect one, and I'm like, God. Yeah. But I did see that Hobby King right now has a sale on the 700 watt for like $30.
What? Oh my God.
I will tell you that if you go to, because being in Chicagoland, we got what's called Chicago Drone Racers, and they do a lot of multi-GP and X-Drone stuff up here. And if you got 600 milliwatt, unless you're in the open class and they allow it, you can't fly. I mean, they want you to have like 300 or less because you're overpowering everybody else with a 600.
And this is why I don't fly races.
Oh, but see, that's what I'm starting to get into, so. Which...
Well, it was nice. It was when I was down with the guys. It was actually nice. We were running into an issue here where everybody's on the Fat Shark band, so I'm slowly moving a lot of my kit so I can jump into the other 40 channels. But when we were flying with myself, Chris, Wayne, and Mike, we actually, and even Chad, we were cautious. No one wanted to fire up or anything, but we didn't have a lot of issues, which was nice when you got 4 or 5 guys and you can manage the channels a little better and not have that overlap. So really,
there's oh man,
what happened to? Where did Pat go?
I think he went to the bathroom again.
He's been drinking a lot of beer. And see, and you know what? And here's a prime example. I just grabbed the motor off of that plane and
Look
just
at that.
moved it just a little bit, and it just
Yeah, that's
snapped off. This is why I hate the Deveron on that plane. So this is going to be the motor mount for my. And then I think, you know what? Look
Pat. Oh dear, Pat. Oh.
and look at that. It's going to fit right on there perfectly.
Well,
Hey, Andre, because I know you've had to have seen them. What's that new transmitter, the video transmitter they've got, where you can actually power it up, but until you hit the selector switch, it won't actually transmit.
So that's, or even better, Hobby King showed a little bit of what Immersion and Fat Shark have been working on, and it's particularly, even if it fires up, they're getting better at the whole channel jump thing, and we were noticing that when people would jump up, if they would fire up the transmitter, you'd get that blip. Now the new technology, and this is something we saw with the France FPV thing. Immersion now has this wand and some of the technology they were playing with there, and they could tap in, and the guys can run it like when they're not in race mode. They're at like 25 milliwatts, and so they can test all their equipment and everything, and then when they go out, there's more. And this is another thing, like the quads and everything we were talking about. Everybody's starting to wire everything into these distribution boards, and I was talking with Josh Bixer, and he told me there's a bunch of neat technology coming out to address this, and it's exactly that. Like you can fire up, and you're not at full strength, so you can do all of your pitch checks and stuff like that, and then when you go race, you can hit another mode, and it powers, and it goes to full power. So in the pitch, you can actually do stuff, and they want people to test their stuff, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see. I see it's gonna take another, I'd say 5 years, maybe less, where we'll be able to get to this kind of technology where everybody's interlocked with their own code and all that. But the problem with video and once you go digital is that bandwidth is so big. I wonder where the 3.3 gig is going to take us as well. So.
Not to make this all about quads, but
yeah, no. Well, hey, it's even in flying. I mean, I got a wing back here somewhere. Hold on here.
I fell asleep a while ago.
Oh, is that your juggernaut?
I'm so excited about this thing.
So, Pat, how's the bill going?
Oh, it's going good, man. All this talk of quads is making me sleepy, though.
Oh, it's just because you're drinking so much beer.
Actually,
so I just cut my ailerons off because
he flies without them. He's a real man.
They're tough. Don't pay any attention to them. They're all assholes. So I cut the ailerons off because I prefer to use packing tape for the hinges. So that's what if you don't prefer that, just do a score cut, bend it back, and put a bevel in. But I'm going to go with packing tape because I trust it more.
Are you using regular packing tape or extreme packing tape?
No, I'm using regular for this. The extreme, I think, is a little bit overkill in this situation.
Yeah. Have you guys ever tried to use blended derm? I have never had any success with it.
I don't even know.
Derm tape. I only use that for like closing off the exposed foam edges. I've used that a little bit on some planes for that.
I've never had any success with it.
Not for hinge tape.
There's a lot of guys that use it for it.
For hinge tape?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of builds with that.
All right, so I'm to the point where I'm ready to glue my wing to the fuselage.
Awesome.
Glue the tail to the back end. I will say that on the wings, my tabs didn't quite line up, so I cut one tab off flush. And I'm going to line it up with this one, and that'll be good.
That'll be close enough.
And that was I don't know if it was an issue with the translation from the skins or what, but I was going by the skins, and they're set just a hair wide, it seems.
Okay. Speaking of the skins, I just want to give a shout out to Rasterize, who is actually on the
Oh, is he back?
Yeah.
yeah,
he's
was
like,
he on earlier
Yeah, he was on earlier.
on the Q&A?
Yeah. I don't know if he... Oh, he's back. Sweet. I need to ask him a question. Rasterize, are you still out there?
I'm going to agree with you, Eddie. I'm going to glue the tail on first because the wing kind of overlaps a little bit.
It does, and I think it's just easier. I mean, I put my wing on first and then put the tail in, but I had to be real particular about getting the tail in there to make it fit right.
Yeah, I agree. After test fitting. Test fit first.
I did not test fit. I just threw it on there and then said, oh, crap, that was probably dumb.
Hey, Stevens, a.k.a. Rasterize, if you're still on there, could you pipe up in the chat?
Because old Ben says, hey, Steven, I have a question.
I do have a question.
Ta-da.
Looking marvelous, Pat. Marvelous.
I tend to be working back here, so that's probably not good.
It doesn't matter, Pat. Yours looks way cooler than mine.
Well, of course it does.
Wendy was like, is that it? I'm like, yeah.
Well, it doesn't have the Prince logo on it yet.
Yeah, I'm like, I haven't found the artist formerly known as Cool Dude on anything I can actually print out yet. And I got to paint it purple first. But if anybody wants to create a really cool Prince-themed skin, hint, 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 I would be happy to build one of these so I don't have to go stupid crazy. Hint, hint, hint.
Eddie, you're breaking up, bro. Anybody else?
Yeah, he's
It's just
breaking up
Eddie. Install Eddie.
Right. It's on purpose.
I don't blame you.
there.
Wendy's watching TV.
Look at this. See this? This is how I got to do this right now.
He's feeding the glue with his mouth. In case you haven't seen that.
Oh, my
Things in your
God.
mouth, Patrick. That's so naughty.
Hey guys, you guys see the pictures that Mike Finley posted?
Did
That
not.
he posted where?
Oh, on Facebook. He just posted some pictures of he hanging out with our newest granddaughter. So
Oh, I
congratulations,
did.
Mike.
Yeah, I like those.
Congrats,
Yeah.
Mike. Way to go, bro.
Yeah.
That dude, you need some happiness in your life, and there you go.
Yeah, good job, Mike, not creating a grandbaby.
Wow. How this guy set this up. Okay.
I think I'm basically done, fellas.
Cool.
Yay! It looks like a baby Baron.
Not like a Baby Brit.
Minus some control surfaces.
I'll just go faster.
So
For
this is
a
what
little while.
a completed.
Ooh, pretty. Yeah.
It's pretty
Where's
bright.
Oh, there. It's right beside me.
What
I like
actual
that.
plane is that?
Huh? That's the walrus, the night walrus.
The Night Walrus?
Yeah.
I had a walrus, and they sent it to me with the tail broke off.
Ah, that's not good.
So I sent it back and never bought another.
This looks pretty cool. I'm kind of interested to see how it goes as far as a belly lander and everything. So it should run well.
Andre, obviously the Cherokee glider was no-go with the EDF.
It flew, and even Chris tried it, and it was really CG sensitive. The problem, we would fly it with a Zippy Compact 2200. The sweet spot battery is like an 1800 with a high KV rating because you want to keep the momentum up with the EDF. So the lower KV batteries, you kind of let off the throttle, and then you get in trouble and you hammer on the gas, and there's the responsiveness isn't there. So once we took off the EDF, that thing was just beautiful to glide. So I just basically said, yeah, you know what? I've flown it with the EDF, much better aircraft without it, which makes sense. It was designed to be a real glider, you know. So
Yeah, I don't understand the putting an EDF on something like that. I really don't.
well, I guess it's like kind of one of those things. People are gonna go, well, I don't have anybody to tow me, so on a really calm day, I was gliding around with it and kind of just pump up the throttle, put her up a couple feet, and then bring it back down, right? But in the wind and everything, and with a lower kV battery, it was kind of iffy. So so I just basically said, you know what? I'm keeping the EDF off it. I may even change up the ESC. I may even take the ESC out and run I got some solid packs that I can borrow or put into it, and then just get the CG right and put in another receiver, like I said, and ta-da, we've got tow buddies. So and just take people up. I can't wait to throw people under the stick of that thing and just say, here, try it out.
I want to see Wendy fly it.
I think she'd do fine. I think the biggest thing is it's just energy management, right? You just got to know, okay, I've got 1 lap left, right? So, and it's just one of those constant communication things. That was the biggest thing, like I said, with the tow that I learned. Just Chris and I chatting away the entire time, and so it was just neat.
Nobody wants to see it come down in the corn and you pull another corn shark.
Well, there shouldn't be any corn there this year. It'll just be weed, I think. So. We hope.
Yeah, Andre, how was
Yes.
the grass where the runway's going to be?
It was growing slowly, so I don't think they've had. Well, actually, they've had rain, a couple bits of rain, and everything. It's been cool, so we'll see. The week I was there, Austin was like, "Please let it rain, please let it rain." And I'm like, "No, I'm being selfish here, but it should be fine. It should be fine." So. And I guess, like I said, we're gonna have to figure out for the volunteers where if we do a tent city where we want to set up. My issue now this year is the nice spot where we were last year. They pretty well got the FPV lines there, so I don't know if it's gonna give us if it's gonna cause us conflicts or not. So.
Yeah, and
that's the evening Radiant flying zone.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can just pop up above everything too, right? So that's kind of nice. It just depends on how much pressure is in that spot. So we'll see. I mean, we'll kind of play it by ear. Either way, like that's the whole genesis of a lot of airplanes that I'm bringing with me this year, because I know my schedule is probably going to be, okay, I've got a break, let's fly, and it's going to be, I want things that are going to be simple, low fuss, low maintenance, and take different batteries, right? So I can maximize my battery packs to say, okay, this is this. So like my Tundra is definitely coming with me. I may, if I can fit the Sea Duck into the car for the trip, it may come out just because it's so awesome. Because that was a lot of fun to fly. And that'll run on my 4S packs, I guess. And then obviously the Radian, the other glider. And what was really cool is I left the wings on the Tundra for the road trip, and they fit. So, and I didn't even, for the road trip home, I didn't even take apart the whole Cherokee. I just left it assembled in the trunk, which was really cool. So I had a lot of planes in the car. I had both quad, the tricopter, the quad. I had the Tundra, the EFX Racer, the Radian, the Hall Cherokee, and the Pawnee. And what was the one I didn't fly? Oh yeah, both arrows, and I also had the Versa Wing, the blunt nose Versa Wing.
Cool. And it all fit.
Well, I didn't have to bring any tent equipment, right? So that was a big thing. Right. The tent equipment, the camping gear takes up so much space. So. Yeah. But I'm not gonna not count a camp at Flight Fest. That would be sacrilegious.
That would not be right. Not at all.
That wouldn't be cool. So.
You would, and that's a thing to point out.
You need
I know
to
some
camp.
people aren't into camping, and especially if you bring a spouse with you who isn't into it. But there is so much that happens late night, after hours, even like 1 in the morning. So much ridiculous, awesome stuff that you go home with stories of, and it's I would encourage anyone to stay on site, if at all possible.
Yeah, it's
Because watching, I'm just gonna say, watching Pat Chopwood in the street was hilarious.
Eddie made me chop wood in the street. I could have been killed.
It worked.
I left my hatchet down at your site too, so Somebody took a hatchet home.
Check with Mark Swan.
Mark Swan.
But,
He had
Actually, it doesn't matter because it was a crappy hatchet anyway. I mean, for God's sakes, I had to go in the road to chop wood.
we'll be right back, guys.
How's it looking, Patrick?
Hold up, let me
It
switch.
looks like an airplane.
Oh, come on, new computer. My fingers haven't got used to this computer yet. They're still in Mac mode. Alright, so here it is.
Yay!
Ta-da.
It flies, too.
It just crashed.
That was a landing.
Glide test.
Right.
Patrick got his first crash.
Actually, you know
That's
what?
not his first crash.
No, on air.
Oh.
Where is the CG on this thing? Like right behind the wing? Like right
Well,
there?
it was on the plans.
I
I don't
will
care.
let you know in a minute. From the leading edge, it's about 1 inch and 3/8 back.
Okay. Gotcha. 1 inch and 3/8.
1 and 3/8.
Okay. I'll convert that to metric and figure out. Because inches is so inconvenient.
Whatever you
I
say.
hate the standard system when you need to build an airplane.
So basically, it's just ahead of the tab cuts in the wing.
Well, look at that.
Yes. Yep.
Look how pretty that is with an 8-inch prop on it.
Whoa.
That's nice.
I wouldn't recommend flying it with an 8-inch prop, but
Well, no, it's just literally I broke it off the other plane and stuck it on
Right.
here. I haven't even punched the holes in it yet, but it's gonna fit up really nicely.
that'll work.
It works.
35 millimeters, Pat.
Oh, thank you.
And that is, if I'm not mistaken, 2 barbecue skewers through the power pod to hold it in place. Correct.
Yep.
And then I'm assuming that the battery would go somewhere in this general vicinity.
I actually put the battery on the bottom of the power pod, way up in the front of the nose, with the 450 milliamp. It balances out really well.
Okay.
Right on the power pod. But to answer your question, the battery is going to go wherever it needs to go to balance the plane.
Well, I just figured by rule of thumb it should be in a general vicinity. And that's awesome. I got rid of
It
a
should
jump
be in the
plane.
general vicinity of the airplane. Yep. Otherwise, they tend not to fly very well.
It's so weird that they just don't fly when you have it all
When
jacked
you
up.
inject the battery.
I did that with my
watched-
baby Radian.
I watched a Bloody Wonder last year eject the power pod.
Keegan's
Well, I've
done
done
that a
that
couple of
too.
times. Yeah,
So
Pat,
I
Pat
watched
was saying he wanted to turn that into a sporting event, like guided power pod launching from your
Oh, it's
Wonder.
hilarious. When I put a 4S in my Bloody Wonder, and I get it going full speed and rip back on stick, that thing just flies out like a javelin. It's hilarious. And then the rest of it just kind of flops down nice and easy.
Like a leaf.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I like your plane, Pat. Looks nice.
Thank you, Dan. Dan, and thank you for the design, man. This is a cool little plane. If
They're
I
kind of
wasn't-
funny looking. They're really small.
If I wasn't, BSing 75% of the time, I could have had this probably built in half an hour. But here's what this is all about. It's not about so much building the plane. It's about
BSing, getting together online, and having a good time. It's like hanging out with your buds, you know, drinking a beer, eating some Chinese food, stabbing your dog. It's all good.
I hate it when I stab my
good.
dog.
It's all good.
And yes, it is marked with blood.
That is perfect.
So Patrick got one that's pretty, and I just got one that's plain.
And again, you know, it's worth Rasterize, Stephen Rosenberg. Thank you, dude. That is so generous of you to put that much time in for that many people.
Yeah, he's been doing an amazing job with all of them.
And dude, look how cool that looks.
Yep.
And then, you know, we've got Richard Kennedy, who's putting the flight test planes in the Phoenix simulator. I need to get that. I don't have a simulator, but I mean, those things are so cool, especially because, you know, this is the scheme that's in the Phoenix simulator.
Right.
But anyway, thanks to those two guys. They're doing really awesome stuff, and it's really cool. Thank you.
Hey, Dan, technical question.
Yes, sir.
So on the ailerons, any consideration to run 2 servos versus 1?
I'm actually going to try that on the bigger Baron. I'm working on kind of the next iteration of all those combat planes, actually, and that's one of the things that I kind of want to do is get away from the single servo and bury the servos in the wings. You know, because it is a combat plane. I've actually lost a couple combats to having my servos getting taken out.
Yeah.
Get taken a direct hit in the servo, and you got no ailerons anymore. And
especially with that double linkage, there's got to be a lot of load on that servo.
Yep, there sure is. But I mean, from the original design, it's a cheap, easy way to build a plane. But yeah, that is definitely one of the things I'm looking at: burying the servos inside the wings.
Yeah.
And having two independent servos for the ailerons.
Because then you can get into some really cool mixing too.
Yep. Yeah, you could even dial in flaperons or something like that if you wanted to get into flying super crazy slow with one of them, for example.
Well, hey, in combat, you could...
flaperons are a baby.
That'd be funny. That'd be fun in combat. Oh, you're gonna get me, are you? Whoosh.
Right? No, you put on the brakes, he'll fly right by.
Exactly.
Oh God!
You're gonna do what?
Yeah, you're gonna do what?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I totally thought about doing that.
Yeah, you get some twin thrust going on there. I'm just gonna do a corkscrew right in front of you, you know, a flat spin. That'll mess with you.
Yep.
Like Josh yelling at me when we were flying when I was at headquarters. Here's the seed duck. Here, now do a flat spin. I'm like, what? Womp through the air. That'd be fun. In combat, that'd be a really good maneuver. I bet you could take out a few airplanes doing that.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. All right. Well, awesome. So we've got a complete build. Pat got his done. I got mine done. I don't know about Ben. He got quiet, so it looks like he's
only took 3 hours.
That's not bad.
Right. So we've got it done. We've maintained about 14 viewers through the whole podcast.
That's
and
amazing.
We're really sorry for the people that are watching.
I mean, this is literally twice as long as a podcast.
Absolutely, but it has been absolutely awesome. Hey, we got planes out of it. We're going to have fun. Anybody that wants to get involved with this, jump on the forums. Make sure that you get involved. If you need a skin, make sure that you post up that you want one, because it's getting close, and I don't know how many more skins he's going to be able to get out before deadline.
Right. Yep. So if you want to jump in the gaggle, make sure you get out there and get your request in.
Yeah, man.
I should post a link to that thread in the Q&A.
Yeah. And we will drop it in the chat room. We'll put it up on the CommunityCast webpage, and we'll blast it on the forums. Again, we appreciate everything. Pat, thank you so much for your build.
You're welcome.
Awesome watching you drink beer and eat Chinese food while building an airplane.
It was delicious.
Ben, Andre, Dan,
You looked like you enjoyed it.
I thank you very much for showing up, hanging out, and throwing some comic relief in there. And maybe we need to do a quad build night.
Oh God. Ugh. Hey Ben.
I'm talking to Andre. I'm not talking to you, Pat.
No, hush, Eddie. Ben, thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate it. It was really comforting for me to have you here, but.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm here for it. I'm just, you guys were trucking along, and I was just kind of, I started to, I turned into Pat. I swear to God, because I got a quad in front of me. I have it tore apart already.
You can't, right? I mean, come on, you're sitting there. You might as well make use of the time.
Yeah,
Yep.
I turned into Pat. So my apologies if I got a little quiet. It's.
Yeah, here's something for you. Look at that.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, is that your P51?
Yeah, I finished shooting in the open structure. Whoops.
Whoops.
And he breaks
Oh,
it.
now you got some work to do.
As they just work on
Belly, is it going to be a belly lander?
What's that?
Will it be a belly lander?
I think I am gonna. There is place for landing gear mount.
Don't do it. Yeah.
The wheels are so small
It's such a pain. Yeah.
that I wouldn't be able to fly at my field. It definitely wouldn't fly at Fury Field. So it's going to be a belly lander.
Well, the one I got, the Durafly one there, I'm considering taking the gear out and making it a belly lander just so I can enjoy it some more.
Yeah.
Is that a D, Pat?
Yes, it is. It's a little D.
And on that note, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate everything. Hope you enjoyed the build, and we will see you next month at Flight Fest.
Woo!
Can't
You guys
wait.
have a great night.
Good job. Good job,
Good night,
everybody.
guys.
Nice job on your builds. Eddie, Pat.